We are in Tallahassee with a record-breaking sellout crowd in excess of 60,000. They have come from throughout the Sunshine State to watch what should be a good old-fashioned backyard feud between Miami and Florida State. In 28 meetings between these two clubs, the total difference in this series is just 22 points. Ironically, both have done well on the other's field. Miami, the visitor today, has won 7 of the last 8 games played here in Tallahassee. Here come the Hurricanes, coached by Jimmy Johnson, a record of 6 wins, 1 loss. Miami is explosive, averaging 36 points a game, have not lost since they tripped to Florida early on. And the crowd can tell you who's next. Also 6-1, the only blemish to Auburn, a defensive second-half club that has allowed only 1 touchdown in the second half all year, other than the Auburn game. There, the defense fell apart and gave up 4 touchdowns in a 10-minute span. And there's Chief Osceola on his horse Renegade, a Seminole tradition. First scout and established the war ground, set the battle line. The crowd here feeling the intensity. That spear indicates war has been waged. Chief Osceola and Renegade. This place is rocking. 60,000 strong in Tallahassee, Florida. The balloons have been released. The spear has been thrown. The return man for Miami, number 21, J.C. Penney. You see his numbers there and what he's cataloged. Barry Barco, number 7, will kick off. Low kick, high bounce, taken by Mel Brent. And Broughton to the outside is knocked out of bounds on the 28. The offensive talent for the Hurricanes, Vinny Testaverde. The running backs will be Daryl Oliver, Alonzo Highsmith. The offensive line will go down them. Brian Blades will be 1 wide receiver. Mike Irvin, 47. He is a flyer, 6'2", 190, just a freshman. He'll be on the other side, and Testaverde will go to both. First down, Hurricanes. Ball on the 28, just underway. Testaverde to the 30. First down, Miami. The offensive line for Miami. William Smith, the tight end, the smallest at 224. Bird is 261. 260 as they go across the front. 265, 278, 265 is Davis. O'Connor is also a load at 270. They are a hoss and a half on that offensive line. First down, Miami. 13-yard pickup by Testaverde. Big hole, right side. Oliver. 8 yards, close to another first. It'll be 2nd and 2. Seminoles' defensive unit is young. It is very fast. Williams, Stroud, Nichols, Jacks, Gray, Jones, and McGowan. Very active linebacker core. Now, as you look at this secondary, it is 3 sophomores and a freshman. 2nd and 2, 49-yard line. Again, Oliver close to the first down. Garth Jacks made the tackle. Made you a little bit shy.
Just a few moments ago, we were talking about the quartet of runners that Miami has, and the 4 runners, Highsmith, Bratton, Oliver, and Williams, are pretty much interchangeable. They have accounted for nearly 1,000 yards rushing.
3rd down and short, 3 tight ends, Roberts, Henry, and Smith. The give on the right side is Highsmith, and he did not make it. He may have lost a yard. Listen to him. Well, one thing you can say about Jimmy Johnson, the coach of the Hurricanes, is that he is unpredictable, high-energy type guy, and he is going for it early in the ball game. They're setting the stage early. 4th and 1. Left side, didn't get it. Paul McGowan made the tackle, and he was joined by a host of Seminole defenders.
Watch McGowan and Jones, the inside linebackers, as Highsmith, usually the most dependable ball carrier on the team, number 30, runs right into the teeth of that Florida State defense. And you talk about emotional energy. We have it here with 60,000 screaming fans in Doak S. Campbell Stadium.
Now we'll watch the freshman go to work. Chip Ferguson. First down to give inside. And Cletus Jones can't find much going there. The offensive talent, there he is. Chip Ferguson came out of the Carolinas. Victor Floyd, 5'11", 190-pound freshman. It is a young team. Cletus Jones, one of the leaders. He's a senior. Aaron Holloman, he can fly, sophomore. Hassan Jones played in the shadow with some great receivers here. Coming into his own now as a senior. Jones, the only wide receiver. He goes way up top. 2nd and 10. Victor Floyd goes the same way to the right side, but runs right smack into Rod Carter. Pat Carter is there. He is on the defensive line of the Seminoles. 255, offensive rather. 255, 274 is his run. 323, Tomerlin, he's a load. Schranker is 250. Dukes, 272, All-American. And John Ionata is 279. They don't waste any time getting the excitement and adrenaline going here. 3rd and 10. Seminoles at the 49. The freshman's first pass of the day. Has a man overthrown. Well, it was intended for Darren Holloman, but it was overthrown.
I mentioned that Chip Ferguson, the 18-year-old freshman, might be a little nervous. He had the time. His receiver, Holloman, was open, but he's got to lower his sights. That ball was thrown poorly. It was a little high, but he needs to get those out of his system early.
Brett Perriman back to receive the punt. Mike Irvin is along with him, and you're looking at number 6, Lewis Berry of Florida State. He's the punter, but before we get to that, Miami wants a timeout. Well, perfectly timed, because now it'll allow us to get our breath, Cupper. They get things started in a hurry here.
You're pretty pumped up, big guy. Give you 8 hours of sleep and you're something.
Doing that Good Morning America all week up in New York. I mean, I was drained yesterday.
Yeah, never seen you look so tired, but you look great today, and it's good to be working with you again. This is my first time in Tallahassee. I know you've been here before, and I know you're impressed with this rivalry, and as you mentioned at the top of the show, it's been a close one.
It really has been. We were here December 2nd last year to do the Florida State-Florida game.
It rained a little bit that day, didn't it?
It really rained. And I want to tell you something. These folks here, you think they're fired up today against Miami. Should have seen them against Florida. There were some Gator haters here.
Speaking of rain, you know, we had Hurricane Juan this week, which curtailed practice activities for Florida State. They worked in the gym most of the time this week, so their timing may be a little off. We saw that on the first pass play from Chip Ferguson. He complained to me yesterday. He said he really hadn't had a chance to throw the deep passes because they were working out mostly in the gym.
Lewis Berry to punt it away, 41-yard average. Has a chance to pin him deep. It's a tail wagger that'll hit on the 5, get a Miami bounce, and it goes into the end zone as a touchback. So with 11:27 remaining in the first quarter, following that 49-yard punt, there's no score in Tallahassee.
Today, Chevrolet.
Football first down on the 20. And Cupper, you mentioned the rain this week and practicing inside. I saw this Florida State team in Nebraska early in the season. They had practiced 11 days inside then, went down and beat Tulane inside, and then beat Nebraska. Sunny, hot day. This is Testaverde, quick out pattern, has a man. It's Irvin, and Irvin is knocked out of bounds after a 6-yard gain.
Michael Irvin, flanker back number 47 runs a 5-yard square out or sideline cut. He's working on Martin Mayhew, number 32. Gets underneath him. Testaverde perfect with his pass to the outside. He threw it with a lot of authority, low and to the outside. He lost a yard. And Michael Irvin, who waited for his turn behind Shakespeare last year, now the leading receiver on the team.
2nd and 4. The give on the right side is Highsmith, and he is punched hard. May have lost one. Well, I want to tell you something. The defense came across quickly, and Stanley Scott was there in a hurry. Before Highsmith could say so much as how do you do, Scott was shaking hands. 3rd and 3, Miami. Testaverde under pressure. Knocked away nicely by Fred Jones, the linebacker.
He got some pressure from number 37, Stanley Schreiber, who was coming from his safety position. Watch number 37 get in there. That hurries Testaverde. And Fred Jones on the coverage there as he tried to drop the ball off to Alonzo Highsmith, number 30, coming out of the backfield.
Well, I thought that Jones had tipped the ball. Looking at the replay, he might not have gotten it. Jeff Feagles is the punter now as you look at Jimmy Johnson, the head coach of the Hurricanes. Feagles has a 39-yard average. Low snap, ball's on the ground. He's fair game, and he goes down. The cornerback, number 15, saw the ball on the ground. Instead of containment, thought tackle, and got it.
Jeff Feagles, the punter, number 38, tries to field this ball here. He fumbles it. And there's the play right there by number 15, Terry Robinson, the cornerback. Another look, and you see very clearly how quickly Robinson is in there.
Brian Smith, the snapper, never got the ball off the ground. 1st down and goal at the 8. Tony Smith, the ball carrier. I don't think he got anything.
As we said at the top of the show, you can look for Tony Smith, number 49, and Victor Floyd, number 27, to be alternating at the tailback position. And we also mentioned that they've established quite a tradition of tailbacks in recent years, headed by the All-American Greg Allen.
Hassan Jones, the wideout, to the bottom of the screen. You're looking at the freshman Ferguson. 2nd and goal from the 8. This is Jones. Touchdown, Seminoles.
Hassan Jones, the flanker back, play action fake here, and then a drop back. He runs a corner pattern. He gets behind number 29, Don Ellis, only by a step, but makes a leaping reception as Chip Ferguson, the freshman, throws a perfect pass high and outside.
Derek Schmidt, the extra point. He's never missed one in his life. That's 94 straight.
An isolated look at the latest great wide receiver in a great tradition of wide receivers for Florida State. Hassan Jones, number 88, working on Don Ellis, number 29. Beats him by a step for the touchdown.
He's played in the shadows of Dennis McCurran, now with the Bears. Weegee Thompson with the Steelers, and last year, Jesse Hester. Still celebrating the 8-yard touchdown catch by Hassan Jones as Miami now ready to receive the ensuing kickoff. J.C. Penney is number 21. The kicker, Barry Barco. It's taken by Mel Bratton. Bratton has a hole to the 30, to the 40. 46-yard line goes Mel Bratton before he's stopped by Brian Davis, number 39. And Barry Barco made part of that tackle, and kickers don't like to do that.
Another look at the previous touchdown from a different angle. Hassan Jones running a corner pattern. Beautiful pass here by the freshman Chip Ferguson as he outmaneuvers Don Ellis, number 29, to the corner. The ball thrown with perfect touch and timing, high and to the outside. 4th touchdown of the year for Hassan Jones.
Jones had a touchdown catch against Miami last year. 1st and 10, Hurricanes. Testaverde to throw, in trouble. And overthrown. Intended for Highsmith on the sidelines, and there's one quality that I think Testaverde has that maybe Kozar doesn't have as much of, and that is versatility and mobility in the backfield while under pressure.
Well, on paper, Testaverde has the equipment to perhaps be the greatest Miami quarterback of them all, and that's saying something as we look at Bobby Bowden, one of the most successful and most popular coaches in the history of Florida football. A former quarterback at Samford College back in 1953.
Ball on the 46. Active defense, showing a 5-man front. Testaverde on 2nd and 10 has a receiver. It is complete. It's Brian Blades from the Everglades, and he's down to the 27-yard line.
Let's take a closer look at number 9, the split-end Brian Blades, as he goes down the middle on a crossing pattern. A little pirouette move there. Hello, goodbye, limp leg, juke step. Tries to traverse the field, but Fred Jones, number 55, the linebacker, is in a deep drop position and brings him down.
This offensive scheme of Miami is a good one. Good runners, good passers. 1st down on the 28, and Testaverde can throw. Could be a flag. Is there? No. Oh, I thought he had him.
Martin Mayhew, number 32, reached over the shoulder of Brian Blades, number 9. He was in good position. Now you can take a closer look at it as Blades runs a curl-in pattern from his wide receiver spot on the right. Mayhew, number 32, back reaches over, and he is not called for contact there. He may have gotten away with one there, but the Zebras will probably make up for it.
2nd and 10, get inside is Oliver. Not much happening. Paul McGowan is there to block the hole. So he's 6'1", 218-pound sophomore.
Well, we've talked many times about the war of the trenches, and as you see, number 37, Oliver, trying to pick up valuable yardage there. Stanley Scott, number 83, gets the first hit. He gets a help from Paul McGowan, who is the leading tackler on the team.
Miami, 3rd and 10. Their 3rd down conversion percentage is 51%, but today they're 0 for 2. Here, they may have one. Alonzo Highsmith takes it down to the 11-yard line. He has the 1st down.
Alonzo Highsmith, who I think you mentioned earlier, Tim, was recruited as an outside linebacker or defensive end. He was switched to the fullback position. He told me that he used to study people like Lawrence Taylor and Hugh Green. Now he pays attention to people like Walter Payton and Herschel Walker. But he has the size that you like. He's 6'1", 228 pounds. He can do all kinds of running plays for you and also be a threat coming out of the backfield.
Well, it was Howard Schnellenberger who moved him. Yep. And it was very insightful. Last year he had 5 100-yard rushing games. So with the ball on the 18 now, Miami will have it 1st and 10 with 8:35 remaining in the 1st quarter. Tim Brandt, Lee Groscup, along with you from Tallahassee. Oliver again finds a hole this time on a little cross counter. Garth Jacks makes the tackle.
Second and 5. This is either a running or passing down, and with a quarterback like Testaverde, he may elect to go play action.
Well, we told you about Jimmy Johnson. He likes to gamble. He is unpredictable, and they are in the 4-down area. The pass over the middle. That's Willie Smith, the tight end. Greg Newell takes him down, but it's a pretty good gain. So it'll bring up 3rd down and short, the ball on the 13 for Miami.
Once again, it's an option down with a quarterback like Testaverde, because he may elect to go play action or sprint out, because as you mentioned, he is a very effective runner. Much more so than was Kozar.
3rd down, 2. Testaverde. Touchdown Miami. Brian Blades, number 9, has it at the back of the end zone. And I think we're about to be tied.
Touch and timing route here by Testaverde as he looks for Brian Blades, who is outmaneuvering the secondary there, gets behind Greg Newell, number 40. It's simply a fade pattern.
Look at the orange there at the bottom of your screen by his feet. That could be dangerous.
Yep. That's a beautiful pass and a beautiful reception there by Brian Blades.
Cox on to attempt the extra point. That's Greg Cox. That is his 72nd straight. So 2 outstanding place kickers here. We have 7:23 remaining in the quarter, and we are tied at 7.
This commercial is recorded in stereo. Does your TV have what it takes to hear it? Now Zenith introduces the Smart Sets with the television stereo sound Zenith invented, built in. So all you have to do to hear this in stereo is this. Zenith Advanced System 3, 19 models with built-in stereo. The Smart Sets, smarter than ever. When the big Q flows.
7-7 ball game here at Doak S. Campbell Stadium. We keep this up. We may need a calculator. These 2 teams can play, and offensively, they open things up. Sealing, the kicker from Miami, will tee it up and knock it away. We've got 7:23 remaining first quarter. 7-7 is our score. Seelig with the kick, and it's taken by the up man. John Parks. John Parks is taken down at the 25-yard line. Right now, let's go back to New York. Here's Jim Lamplin.
All right, Tim, before the executive director of the Cotton Bowl and the Sugar Bowl, the chairman of the selection committee for the Orange Bowl, the president of the Fiesta Bowl, Penn State reverted to its cardiac ways, beat Boston College 16-12 after trailing in the 4th quarter 12-10. The key play, a 30-yard interception return. Back to you.
Okay, Jimmy. Joe Paterno just seems to keep things rolling up there. This is Ferguson, Florida State on 1st down. Throws across the middle and is intercepted. Intercepted by Tolbert Bain of Miami. So we have a mistake from the freshman right off the bat. That one could be costly because the ball now deep in Florida State territory, marked at the 38-yard line.
Ferguson looking for his wide receiver, Philip Bryant, number 9. Pressure from Jerome Brown there, and the interception made by Tolbert Bain, number 18, who is in perfect position, stepping right in front of the wide receiver. Good pressure is what forced Ferguson, the young quarterback, to throw the ball away.
1st down, Testaverde going for it all, has a man, it's Blades. Touchdown, Hurricanes! Blades took Williams down the sidelines and beat him by 2 steps.
I like the call and I like the execution. Come with your best play on 1st down after a turnover. Number 17, Eric Williams, is the cornerback who is trying to cover Bryant Blades man for man. Blades runs a fly pattern, fades it to the outside. The ball is thrown with a nice high looping trajectory over the inside shoulder for a picture-perfect bomb touchdown.
Greg Cox, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale, knocks it through. It's good, and we've got a 14-7 ball game. So Testaverde now has thrown a touchdown pass in 7 straight ball games.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till you're gonna need somebody to lean on.
Over the years, more people have leaned on Chevy trucks than any other make.
If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road and I'll share your load. You just got to lean on me.
When you need a truck you can lean on, nothing works like a Chevy truck.
Mike Shula and Alabama tangled with the LSU Tigers, or number 11 Arkansas meets 10th ranked Baylor. CFA coverage begins with College Football Today next Saturday.
The left of your screen, number 20 is Keith Ross. On the right, Chuck Wells. Ross originally signed with Florida, then went on and played 3 years of pro baseball with the Phillies and came back to Florida State as an amateur football player and now as a return man. This is Mark Sealing, 5'11", 183-pounder, and he knocks this one clear out of the end zone.
Another look at the previous touchdown. Straight drop back pass, 7 yards by Testaverde. Good protection. He sets up. He's looking wide to Blades, who's on the left. Gets by the cornerback there, and as I said, the ball could not have been thrown better. Blades now 3 receptions for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns, 38 yards on that last touchdown.
Williams had pretty good coverage there on the corner, but when he dropped back by a step, Blades went up high over top.
How do you like it so far, Haas?
Oh, I tell you, I love it. You saw Testaverde there on the sidelines. You know, I said he's thrown a touchdown pass in each of the last 7 ball games. Make that 2 touchdown passes in the last 7 ball games. He now has 16 on the year, second best in the school's history.
One of the things I asked him yesterday was if he would go the way of Bernie Kosar. He said definitely not. He plans to play his senior year. He's majoring in phys ed. He says he plans to take his time in graduating. He plans to be back for his senior season. He will be a redshirt senior in 1986. I would say that he would possibly be the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy in 1986 based on what he has done thus far in 1985.
He's a player. The scouts say that quality-wise, everything that he can do a little bit more than Bernie Kosar in that he is mobile. His arm is very strong, and he reads defenses very well. Jimmy Johnson told us that rather emphatically yesterday. Well, now we'll find out what kind of composure this guy has. Number 5, Chip Ferguson, the freshman, a true freshman, right out of high school. First down on the 20. Florida State decides to bang it up the middle. Here's Jim Lampley again in New York.
Up in Jackson, Mississippi, LSU has crept to 5-1 on the season with a 14-0 victory over Ole Miss, which lost quarterback Kent Austin during the game. Hilliard scored both touchdowns for LSU, and most of you will see the Bayou Bengals hosting Alabama 1 week from today at 3 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC. Back to Tim Brandt.
Okay, Lamps, thank you. Here we've got 6:36 remaining in the first quarter. Ferguson, pump fakes, reloads, finds a receiver, has his tight end, Carter. And Carter is up close to a first down. He'll be a yard shy.
Pat Carter is really an outstanding tight end. He's 6'4", 255 pounds. As you look at his numbers reflected right there, not only an outstanding receiver, but one of the better sweep blockers you'll ever see. Fake left by Ferguson, and now comes back to his tight end, Pat Carter, on the right, who's running a short hook pattern in front of the secondary, and the ball is well thrown.
3rd down and 1. Right side, first down, Tony Smith. You know, I'm not so sure Ferguson's pass there when he reloaded was a fake. I think he just pulled it back because of coverage and then went to his second and third receivers, which shows a lot of composure to come back off that interception and throw a completion.
I think your point is well taken. Let's not call it a pump fake. Let's call it a read, because he did it very well. And that's one of the reasons, in talking to some of the assistant coaches yesterday, particularly Jay Perkins and Mark Richt, that they felt that Ferguson would be the type of quarterback that could lead them in the future.
That's Florida State's first down. The give, right side, Smith again. Spins and turns and drives, but he only gets 2 yards. Rod Carter is the man who made the tackle.
Well, you know, we talked about him being a true freshman. I'm talking about Ferguson, of course. When I was in college, freshmen didn't even play varsity football. You played only freshman football.
Well, it's a fairly new rule. That's not showing.
1973, they reinstated the freshman rule.
The year after I got out of Maryland.
Yep.
2nd and 9, ball on the 33. Ferguson again, big hole up the middle. Again, it's Tony Smith. He will not get the first down, however.
This is one of the definitive I formation plays, the sprint draw play. Tony Smith, number 49, possibly holding there as he spins away.
They put a nice new twist into that play, though, rather than just the eye power. They sent the lineman in misdirection and showed some trap blocking. 3rd and 3, Ferguson has a man open, and it's complete. First down. Philip Bryant, number 9, pulls it down, goes out of bounds, and again, FSU is in Hurricane territory.
This is excellent throwing by Chip Ferguson as he throws to the outside to number 9, Philip Bryant, the wide receiver, on the left sideline, covered there by Tolbert Bain. That ball could not have been thrown better as Bobby Bowden directs along the sideline. The plays are flashed into the quarterback, by the way.
13-yard gain, first down, ball on the 48. Little drag pattern across the middle by White, number 87.
Of course, there has developed here a tradition of quarterbacks and wide receivers through the years. Quarterbacks like Steve Tensey, Kim Hammond, Bill Kappelman, Gary Hubb, Wally Woodham, Jimmy Jordan. Of course, we got to know in the United States Football League.
He's here today.
Is he? All right. Then we'll tell you about those wide receivers in a little while, too.
2nd and 7, little shuffle pass inside. Tony Smith, first down, I believe, maybe a little bit shy, but a big gainer for Florida State.
Well, I recognize that pass. It's sometimes referred to as the Utah pass because my old coach, Cactus Jack Curtis, is considered the modern architect of the play. Bobby Bowden uses this in place of the draw play, and it's very effective. It involves a double team on one side with normal pass blocking on the other, and it creates a lane for the back who takes the reception. And by the way, that counts as a completed pass for the quarterback.
It is the safest play in football because it can't be. Tony Smith couldn't get the pitch out. They are still 2 yards shy of the first down.
This is known as their trap option play. The fake is to the fullback first. The pitch was not thrown well by quarterback Ferguson. Stubbs was applying the pressure, and Smith never got the handle on the ball.
4th and 2. Florida State is going to go for it. The ball on the 40. High formation. Now they shift. Flags fly, and I believe it's going to be offsides. Well, we'll wait for the call. It's a legal shift unless the linemen move, and the linemen may have moved. It may be against Florida State. It is. Bobby Bowden wants to talk to the official about it.
Like you say, it is a legal shift unless one of the linemen moved. Now, all they were doing was shifting from the tee to the shotgun.
Dead ball. False start.
Bobby, I'm sure it's
4th down.
Well, he should be.
He has that in his repertoire. He has a lot of gadget plays, and he has plays like this. Hassan Jones, number 88, may have moved prematurely, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either. The offensive line, if they moved, they were pushed. This punt may die on the one. Lewis Berry got it high, and he got the nose to deep dig into the ground, but now they say it's a touchback. 45-yard punt. Miami will have it first down on the 20. Let's take a look at that Miami campus.
From marine biology to music engineering, computer science to tropical architecture, the performing arts to the arts of healing. The University of Miami stands at one of the major crossroads of cultures and commerce, providing a unique environment where students can work and learn with some of the world's leading scholars and scientists. Discovering ways to make ours a better world. The University of Miami.
When Bobby Bowden, the coach at Florida State, came here, he told a story about when he was at West Virginia, all he heard was beat Pitt. When he was at Alabama, all he heard was beat Auburn. When he came to Florida State, everybody said, beat anybody. They had won only 4 games in the last 32 tries. Bobby has really turned things around. He's now 79, 31, and 2 here. This is Miami on first down. Highsmith is the ball carrier.
I like that Bobby Bowden story. Of course, he has a tremendous sense of humor. Vinny Testaverde, on a little draw play, slips the ball to number 30, Alonzo Highsmith. And he's brought down pretty quickly there in the secondary by Tracy Sanders, number 16.
It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Hurricanes. Testaverde, deep drop, has a man, and it's dropped. Again, Brian Blades was wide open.
Well, if you're a young receiver, there's a good object lesson here. Watch how Blades temporarily loses his concentration. Now, you can't run without the what, Tim Brandt?
Without the football.
The pelota. That's right.
I was a defensive player, and I know that. Vinny is now 6 for 10, 93 yards. Third and 5 from the 25. Set up the screen. And Highsmith won't have much there. The defense was swarming. Felton Hayes, number 46. He was the first man there, and he's just a freshman. This is a young football team at Florida State.
Felton Hayes did quite a job of breaking through that screen, because if he hadn't made the tackle, there would have been a little convoy for the runner.
Well, that'll mean that Sanders will punt it away. Brian Smith is still the snapper, and he makes things exciting. He had a bad snap last time. Pressure, blocked. Touchdown, Florida State. But the officials are saying no. Jesse Solomon, number 57, came through to get the block. I can't imagine what they're calling here. Bobby Bowden can't believe it. Too much time?
Dead ball. Delay of game. Offense.
Yes, sir. Too much time. 31 seconds now remain in the first quarter, so they'll try it again.
There's one time you're glad that your team is penalized. Solomon, number 57. Look how quickly he gets in on Feagles as Feagles tries to punt the football. And it's number 29,
Bill Richardson.
Bill Richardson, who covers it.
Miami has had trouble with its 2 punts thus far. 1 fumble, 1 block. Again, it's low. And again, it's blocked. 2 in a row, Florida State.
another look, and it's going to be Dodge or Hadley who comes in and makes the block. Well, he bats it into the end zone, and that's number 39, Brian Davis, who covers it for the touchdown. Amazing sequence of events on successive plays. We have block punch. One more look. Watch how Feagles hesitates right here. He hesitates there. It's Hadley who blocks it. And it's Davis, number 39, who bats it first and then covers it for a touchdown.
Again, it was the low snap. That made him hesitate just a bit, and with the pressure coming from the right side, the offensive right side, he did take that extra stop. Hadley got it, Davis scored, and we've got a tie ball game. I can't remember seeing two plays like that in a row.
I remember when Auburn did that in successive plays to Alabama in 1972 that sent Auburn to the Gator Bowl, believe it or not. Successive block punts sent Auburn to the Gator Bowl in 1972.
Well, Miami has certainly put some excitement into the kicking game. And if you'll believe it, that's the first block punt for Miami this year. For Florida State, well, they make a habit of doing that. Last year, FSU had 4 kicks blocked, and all led to their touchdowns. They believe on putting pressure on the kicker. Barry Barco, number 7, to kick it for the Seminoles. This is J.C. Penney. Has a hole. And again, a big return across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
J.C. Penney on the return for Miami.
J.C. Penney, an exciting player, and you mentioned the catalog on him. 17 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8.4 average as a backup runner, and also very dangerous as a return specialist. Wow, what a quarter of football we have had here in the capital city, Tallahassee, Florida.
You saw the scoreboard. It tells the tale. 18 seconds remain in the first quarter. We're tied at 14 all. Testaverde to throw. Has pressure. Incomplete. Again, it was intended for Brian Blades. Well, as Bobby Bowden says, they're in my briar patch now, and that guy right there, Jimmy Johnson's a little bit concerned. I think all he really wants to do is just maintain composure, get his team to play the way it can play and the way it has played over the last 6 games. Testaverde on 2nd and 10. Melvin Bratton has absolutely nowhere to run. He may have lost a half. Stanley Scott again on the tackle.
Well, you mentioned what Bobby said about this being his briar patch. He particularly would like to win today because the visiting team has dominated this series, strangely enough.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter, and what a quarter it's been. The crowd will tell you how much they liked it. We are tied. Florida State 14, Miami 14. Vasiolo on Renegade, inciting the crowd. Tim Brandt, Lee Grosscup. As we start the second quarter, we're tied at 14 all. Miami with the football. Testaverde to throw under pressure. Again, shows great mobility. Throws long. Blades, incomplete. Flag. Martin Mayhew and Eric Williams were the defenders. Pass interference.
You really get a sense of how strong Vinny Testaverde is here as he's rolling to his left. He throws the ball about 50 yards in the air back across field to his right as Blades on a deep crossing pattern gets in between the 2 Florida State defenders that you just mentioned, Mayhew and Williams.
Blades in isolation here, running his route. Williams, number 17, right there.
Automatic, first down.
Look at Eric Williams, though. He doesn't even see Blades. He's going strictly for the football. Going for the interception. Incidental contact. First down, Miami. Still in their own territory. It'll be on the 47-yard line. Zone defense by Florida State. And the pass is incomplete. Well, I think in the last two plays, Cupper, we have seen the mobility of Testaverde. And I think because of that mobility, that's the reason he's been sacked only 15 times in 230 pass attempts.
It's a good reminder. 15 sacks is not very much when you consider how much he throws the football. Give some credit also to his offensive line, which he is very quick to do. But his mobility sets it up. Also, they have a lot of diversification in their offensive schemes. They show you a lot of different looks.
When Testaverde came to the line of scrimmage to start this season, he lined up behind a unit of 5 juniors, only one of which was a starter prior to this year. 2nd and 10. Complete. Nice pass to William Smith, the tight end. Let's go back to the studio in New York. Here's Jim Lampley.
All right, Tim, let's keep up with Florida's 17-game unbeaten streak on the line at Auburn. Auburn led in this game 10-7 early in the fourth quarter. Florida has just gone back on top 14-10 on a Bell to McDonald touchdown pass, second of the game for the Gators. Bo Jackson, 14 for 42 in the first half. Hasn't played in the second half up to now. With Auburn behind, he's back in there. Back to you, Tim Brandt.
Lamps, there are more than 60,000 fans here that would love to see that ball game go one way.
How about the bumper sticker? How about the sign we saw today?
How did it read?
Two favorite teams. Florida State is always number 1, and anybody who is playing Florida is number 2.
They call themselves Gator haters. This is the game we've got coming up for you Monday night. The Dallas Cowboys and St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals trying to stay alive. Have struggled a little bit. Bratton on first down. Nailed by Gerald Nichols. Boy, you know that Cowboys-Cardinals game is always a good one.
You're right about the Cardinals. Great expectations for them at the start of the year, and particularly for their quarterback, Neil Lomax, who may be suffering from the Sports Illustrated jinx.
Well, you know, you're right, but I think the fortune started to change a little bit on a game we had Monday night a while back. That was St. Louis and Washington. Redskins beat up on them a little bit, and they've struggled since. 2nd and 12 on the 36. Testaverde. Sacked. Darrell Gray, 65, 236-pound senior.
We said at the top of the show the key would be to stop Vinny. This is the most effective way to stop any quarterback. Get in his face real quick. Gray, number 65, gets an assist from Stanley Scott, number 83, and they're on top of Testaverde before he can really set up. He's going for his 7-step drop, and at that 7-yard depth, he gets a greeting.
A 20-yard loss. 3rd down and forever. They have to get all the way back up to the 24-yard line. Testaverde again. Felton Hayes, 46, a freshman.
Consecutive sacks on quarterback Vinny Testaverde. Once again, straight drop back protection. Big plays here by the Seminoles as Felton Hayes, number 46, leads the way toward the quarterback.
Deion Sanders, number 2, the lone back. Jeff Feagles, 38, is the punter.
After having consecutive punts blocked, is he snake bit? We'll see.
Also should remind you that Brian Smith, 81, is still the snapper. Snap's okay, punt's not. It's low. They'll let it hit and roll, and it'll go down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Well, the punt didn't even make a first down. Had it been a run. 11:39 remaining in the half. 42-yard punt. It'll be Seminoles ball.
Who says you can't have 100% imported hops and a less filling beer? Old world aging and a less filling beer. Smooth super premium taste and a less filling beer. Michelob Light, the best of both worlds.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Have it all.
Some things look hard, but once you know the secret, they're easy. It's easy. Some people think financing a new car is hard, but it isn't. It's easy.
It's as easy as GMAC.
With GMAC, buying or leasing a new GM car or truck is easy. Ask your GM dealer and see how easy it is. Financing a new car may seem hard, but once you know the secret,
It's as easy as GMAC.
it's easy.
Jimmy Johnson on the right, working the referees. Bobby Bowden, this is his briar patch. He's not going to let Johnson have anything on him. They both are now working the officials. 11:39 in the first half. Ferguson on first down. With time. Incomplete. Hassan Jones was the intended receiver, and that is the elbow of Testaverde. Not his throwing arm, however.
They appear to be icing the left elbow of quarterback Vinny Testaverde.
Looks like it goes.
Another look at the last play as Ferguson tries to get the ball downfield. He's pressured by Stubbs. He's heading for Hassan Jones. Gets a good lick in the secondary there.
2nd and 10. Big hole, left side. This is Floyd. First down, Florida State. These two teams can play.
We talked about the balance of the two teams at the top of the show as we look at the numbers on Victor Floyd reflected right there, and also the tailback tandem that we expected to see. That was one of the real definitive I formation plays, the sprint draw.
Ferguson, incomplete. It was intended for Herbie Gaynor, but it was there on a bounce.
Slipping and sliding, too. Don't forget, this field was a swamp 2 days ago. Take a look at the pressure on Ferguson here, applied by the front four of Miami. First man there is Rod Carter, number 91, and that's the side that Ferguson was trying to throw to. More on Vinny's left elbow.
It's the team doctor working on him down there. Big hole, right side is Floyd, and Floyd is close to another first down. He'll be just short.
What a tackle by number 29, Don Ellis, there in the open field, because Victor Floyd had some running room as he took the ball on what they call 46, which is simply a sweep play, a power pitch. The lead block there by the fullback. Holloman sprint to the outside, but look at that tackle. What a classic open field tackle by number 29, Ellis.
Floyd is quite a story. He only played 1 year in high school. He was a redshirt freshman, and now getting his chance. Everybody jumps early. Flags fly. I think it was Cletus Jones maybe pulled up a little bit at fullback. It was.
I think you're going to see Vinny put some elbow pads on and come back in. I think he's a little angry, a little shaken up, but he's going to be back in there and probably throwing the same kind of passes he's been throwing right along, because as you mentioned, it is his left elbow.
Illegal motion, offense, decline, 4th down.
Take a look at the top 10, how they're doing. This could be a big upset here. Ohio State 15-7 leading Iowa. Byers, I don't believe, is playing. Nebraska leading Kansas State. We saw them last week. Strong. Michigan, extremely strong in a fight with Illinois. Auburn, as Jim Lampley mentioned, trails Florida now 14-10. Fake punt. front right side. And there is a whole lot of open space over there. Cletus Jones, first down.
You gotta love this play. This is a throwback to the days of the single wing. Snap the ball to the up back. Punt formation. Cletus Jones around the right side, picks up a block, breaks a tackle there, goes deep into the secondary before Perriman, number 33, brings him down along the right sideline. What an adventurous call by Bobby Bowden. Cletus Jones, number 42, breaks the first tackle there and picks up the yardage before he's brought down. That is a big play on 4th down for the Seminoles.
30 yards. And don't forget, it was Miami that declined the penalty. 9:50 remaining, first half. Pitch back, Floyd, right side, big hole, first down, Seminoles. They're just having a ball. Always fun to play in this type of ball game.
More than 60,000 fans in Doak S. Campbell Field going crazy.
Second down, 1. Now they've got the first down. I gave it to him prematurely. Again, it's Floyd. Matt Tomberlin gets up a little bit slowly off the line, number 72 for Florida State. He is 6'3", 323 pounds, and he's just a freshman.
He's known as Mountain, the Mountain.
I can see why. Hasn't missed many meals. And he spent lots of time in the weight room. First down play, again it's Floyd. This time he's married at the line of scrimmage by Jerome Brown and Dan Stubbs.
Hurricanes say it's time for them to flex their muscles because they've been blown out on this series. And despite the fact that we have great passers here today, great runners, it still evolves into a war of the men in the trenches. So ultimately it's going to get down to the front 5 against the front 4.
Galen White comes out of the ball game. Hassan Jones and Darren Holloman come in. Reverse. And he's in trouble. That's Holloman. Well, he just came into the ball game, and Dan Stubbs stayed at home defensively, was not through with it, and made the play. Penn State, Joe Paterno continues to roll, still unbeaten. Still just barely getting by. Air Force with the wishbone. Fisher DeBerry doing a great job there. Oklahoma over Kansas, 20-3 at the half. And look at this one. Navy, Notre Dame, 7-7. Keith Jackson, Frank Quarles out there. Shuffle pass inside, no go. Victor Floyd almost hit immediately.
You can tell that Miami has scouted that play well. They've seen the shovel pass used often. And you mentioned this earlier that Bobby Bowden likes that play a lot. He says it's replaced the draw play.
Derek Schmidt, 13 of 17 this year. His longest 54 yards. This one, 37. It's up. It's long enough. And it's good. So, with 6:52 remaining in the half, Florida State leads Miami 17-14.
When Bill bought his new business.
The event second only to the Olympics. The U.S., Japan, the Soviet Union, and more at the World Gymnastics Championships on a special ABC's Wide World of Sports next Saturday.
War paint. War paint on everyone's face here today.
How about that for a game face? Even the ladies get the game faces on here.
Barry Barco, number 7, kicks off. High end over end kick. It'll take by J.C. Penney at the 1. down at the 22-yard line, and that's where Vinny Testaverde will take over. Keep in mind now, Testaverde on the sidelines, icing down his left elbow, not his throwing arm. Tended to by a doctor, but he's back on the field.
Here is the final for Auburn. Florida 14, Auburn 10.
Mixed reaction here in the crowd as the Florida-Auburn score is given. Testaverde now with his left elbow taped and padded. But it has no effect on his throw. It's complete. Big gainer up to the 44-yard line.
He really has a sweet touch on the football. You just saw his numbers for the season. Those numbers rank him 4th nationally in passing efficiency. As we look at the scoring summary, that from the first quarter. What a game it's been so far.
Perryman was the man who made the reception. It'll be first down again. This time they go outside, and Darrell Oliver fumbles the football. How close to the sideline was it? Miami retains possession. Keep in mind, it doesn't matter who recovers it if it's out of bounds.
Handoff deep in the backfield there to number 37, Oliver, who skips to the outside. He's carrying the ball a little loosely and in the wrong hand. He's hit there by Williams. Now watch the football. Does he ever have possession?
I think he
Williams may have had possession there along the sideline. Very questionable call. Florida State might have earned the football.
We do have the benefit of the replay. He has to call it immediately. But it looked like he recovered it. His momentum took him out of bounds. Should have been a turnover. Testaverde, first down and 10, going deep. Incomplete. Almost intercepted. Alfonso Williams again. The man who just recovered the fumble out of bounds was the defender and almost had himself an interception.
Willie Smith did a good job of knocking that ball away, because here he becomes a defensive player. The previous play, which is so controversial, shows Oliver, number 37, bouncing to the outside, carrying the ball loosely. Now watch, he's going to be hit right here by number 17, Eric Williams. The ball comes loose. Now the key play is here with number 26, Alfonso Williams. He covers the football, but does he have possession?
Yes. 2nd and 10. Testaverde under pressure. Evades the pressure nicely and throws it incomplete. Intended for William Smith, 84, but he caught it on a bounce. Boy, Stanley Scott was some kind of coming and putting pressure on Vinny Testaverde. Here's the final that everybody just reacted to in the stadium. Florida upsets 5th-ranked Auburn 14-10. You know, Cupper, ironically, Florida is the only common opponent these two teams here today have.
Your alma mater won.
Third and 10. Flag. Testaverde down, but there is a flag. Felton Hayes, 46, made the tackle. Isaac Williams may have been offsides. He was. 45, Isaac Williams. Down lineman for Florida State jumped early.
Isaac is one of the stronger members of the team. He bench presses 420 pounds. He can power clean 395 pounds. That means the old clean and jerk.
Offsides, defense, still 3rd down.
Against the Seminoles, 3rd down, Miami.
There's the story. Third and 5. Again, there's pressure. And again, Testaverde is sacked. Isaac Williams, who was penalized a minute ago, first to get there. 45. He's not only strong, Cupper, he's quick.
Very quick, and he was excited about playing in this game. I talked to him yesterday. He said sacking a quarterback is his favorite item. And that's what he does right there. The third sack of the day on quarterback Vinny Testaverde. And I said at the top of the show that pressure on Vinny would be the key.
Good snap. High punt. Fair catch called for by Deion Sanders. So Florida State will have the ball on the 18-yard line after that 30-yard punt.
We're not a company, but we recognize potential. We develop it. We use it. We'll make sure that as your responsibility grows, so will you. As your ability for leadership grows, so will you. Working with us, you'll gain self-confidence. Become a person with a future. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. We're the armed forces. It's a great place to start.
These are the hands of Mr. Goodwrench. Hands that work. Hands with the know-how to fix things. Hands that are strong and sure. Hands that are gentle, accurate. Hands that can almost see where the trouble is and how to make it right again. Hands of skill. Hands that care. The working hands of Mr. Goodwrench. And no one knows your GM car better. No one.
NFC East rivals collide as Tony Dorsett leads the Dallas Cowboys against Neil Lomax and the St. Louis Cardinals. Live at 9 Eastern on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
Vinny Testaverde. There's the situation today. 3 sacks. Coming into this ball game, he had been sacked only 15 times in 220 attempts. And with people coming from all sides, it's tough to look for a second receiver when you're looking at defenders. First down straight ahead, Tanner Holloman. Tanner Holloman, the brother of Darren Holloman. Here's Jim Lampley.
Stand by, 2 seconds.
Tim, as you've already pointed out, the nation's longest unbeaten streak is now 18. Florida coach Galen Hall has still never tasted defeat as a college head coach. The Gators have a rare victory at Auburn, only their 4th ever, and they held Bo Jackson to 16 carries for 48 yards as the Gators won it 14-10. Back to you.
Well, Jim Lampley, I know being a Carolina grad, you like that Maryland score. Tanner Holloman, big opening, right side, 36-yard line. Maryland plays Miami next week in Baltimore.
Tanner Holloman, the fullback, on what is known as the fullback trap play off the right side, picks up a good block from Ionata, number 77, slides to the outside and makes a good game before Blades, Benny Blades, number 36, brings him down.
36, Ferguson, first down, across the middle. Incomplete, pass interference. Don Ellis, the defender, hit Hassan Jones too early. It'll cost him.
This is an easy one to call. Hassan Jones, number 88, running a deep slant in pattern, is hit prematurely there with the right arm of number 29, Don Ellis. We talked about the wide receiver tradition for Florida State. Of course, you go back to great names like Fred Biletnikoff, Ron Sellers, Jackie Flowers, Mike Schumann, Barry Smith, Rhett Dawson, and of course
pass interference, defense, automatic first down.
You know, the interesting thing, Lee, about Hassan Jones is he averages over 20 yards a catch. So when he does make the catch, they're big gainers. From the 49, Ferguson, the freshman. Again, across the middle. Hassan Jones, first down.
The athletic ability. Jones gets by the first man, slides into the open area of the coverage. Now watch his athletic ability here as he has to hold onto the ball despite the hit of Selwyn Brown, number 32, who nails him in midair. Of course, the last wide receiver that was here was Jesse Hester. He appears to be hurt.
Hassan Jones dislocated a shoulder early in the season against Tulane. He's now shaken up after that 20-yard catch. Give straight ahead to Holloman. Tanner Holloman. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it for you, but they're working down on Hassan Jones, and they're working on the shoulder.
Second look at Hassan Jones and how he might have re-injured his shoulder here. In midair, he is hit by Selwyn Brown, number 32, and he comes down on the left shoulder. Very easily could have re-injured it.
Tough body, soft hands, but he hit awkwardly, and they are working on that shoulder.
Florida State.
We've got 2 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in the first half. The Seminoles lead by 3. And it has been some kind of exciting thus far. Both teams wide open, both teams being aggressive, and it's close.
Still available for FSU students.
Just when you thought you'd missed out on low finance rates, Chevrolet announces new low 8.8% financing on some of our most popular new Chevys with manual transmissions. Save up to $1,070 in finance charges on Chevy Cavalier, $1,570 on Chevy Camaro, $910 on Chevy Chevette. This is a limited time offer, so hurry. Get low 8.8% financing. You can save on finance charges through November 20th. See your Chevy dealer now.
Soldier, we know you, courageous and brave, the country you honored, the flag that you waved. Soldier, we thank you. On Veterans Day, you're the pride of America.
From the people at Coors to America's veterans.
You're the pride of today.
Mike Shula and Alabama tangle with the LSU Tigers, or number 11 Arkansas meets 10th ranked Baylor. CFA coverage begins with College Football Today next Saturday.
If you're a Seminole fan, the good news is Hassan Jones is back. They've diagnosed the shoulder, they've looked at it, they've given him the okay to return. 2nd and 7, the ball on the 26, FSU driving. Touchdown, Pat Carter. Good fake by the freshman Ferguson. Reverse pivot, and Carter was wide open, his 2nd touchdown of the year.
The play-action fake is what freezes the secondary and enables Ferguson to throw back to his tight end Carter, who gets behind the secondary for an easy touchdown.
Schmidt has never missed an extra point. And this one is good as well.
So Ferguson in his first start is now 8 for 12, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I can't imagine anything tougher for a defensive player to do than watch the backside tight end.
In a high-tech fighter, avionics like these are your eyes. In your car, this eye tells you the all-weather Delco Freedom battery is raring to go. One glance is all the maintenance it takes in any weather, from the blazing desert heat to flash frozen with sub-zero liquid gas. You'll see why Delco is the world's largest producer of maintenance-free batteries.
From $39.95 for a Series 40, call 800-AC-DELCO.
Never wait for trouble.
Floppy in, floppy out.
Anybody here?
Hello?
Why copy on a floppy?
Why not?
Because the new NCR PC6 offers a streaming tape that holds as much as 27 floppy disks. You can't lose work. You droppy your copy. And it's IBM compatible. Surprised?
No, NCR is very thoughtful.
Another not surprised.
An unfloppy copy. I'm so happy.
Hoppy. Hoppy.
Hoppy.
Hoppy.
A better computer. It's exactly what you'd expect from NCR.
38 points in the first half contrast greatly to last year's game between these two, when only 3 field goals were kicked by Florida State, who led at the half 9-0. Barry Barco kicking off for FSU. J.C. Penney, 1 yard deep. has a hole and some blockers. And trips down at the 29-yard line.
Watch how the play fake freezes number 36, Benny Blades, in the secondary, as Ferguson spins to his left, wheels around back to his right, and finds Pat Carter, number 85, the tight end, up the right seam, all alone for the touchdown. This gives you a better perspective. Watch number 36 in the secondary, how he's influenced by the play fake to the left, and he can't get back in time to cover Carter up the right seam.
2 minutes, 33 seconds remain in the first half. This is Bratton. Well, tempers a little bit. Maintain composure. You know, ironically, as much as we talk about the feud between these two teams, it has been an outstanding rivalry within the state. It has been, as they describe it here, a very friendly rivalry. The one they really like to get, both of these clubs, is Florida. Well, success breeds success, and everybody wants it. And right now, Florida, very successful. 2nd and 5. Testaverde, wide open and overthrown. Somehow Brian Blades, number 9, had worked himself clear down the sidelines.
Blades had a step on Mayhew, number 32. The ball was thrown a little wide that time. That was not one of Vinny's better passes.
NC State over South Carolina. 21-17. Alabama wins big with Shula at quarterback. Here it's 3rd and 5. Testaverde under pressure. Escapes one tackler. And throws as he's going down, incomplete. Intended again for Brian Blades.
Sometimes the life of a quarterback isn't always as comfortable as it seems, particularly when you're getting this kind of pressure. And sometimes a hurry can be even more effective than a sack, because it's hurries that forced the interception, would almost happen that time.
Remember Ron McDowell for the Washington Redskins, a friend of mine in Washington. He said when he was playing, if that happened and they didn't get the sack, they used to call it a baggie. They hurried to throw and they made something happen.
All right.
Again, a lot of pressure and not a good punt. This is Deion Sanders. And he runs into a posse. It's been a rough day for that man, Feagles, the punter from Miami. Coming up next week, Alabama down in Baton Rouge against LSU, and Alabama did win big today. LSU had a good game as well. Arkansas and Baylor will be the other one. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area.
Southeast and Southwest Conference shootouts.
Ferguson throws way far to the right side, and it's incomplete. That's a 50-yard pass, and it had it been caught, it would have been a 2-yard gain, intended for Philip Bryant. There's the LSU score we were telling you about. Georgia, big win over Tulane. Green Wave continues to struggle. Tennessee back on the winning track. Virginia Tech down in Blacksburg. Howard Schnellenberger got a win today. Citadel leading 10-3. 2nd and 10. Floyd, 2 yards.
Victor Floyd Perry has scored the Seminoles.
Big number 91, Rod Carter, out of Fort Lauderdale, made the tackle.
Good job of running there by Victor Floyd, who is one of the fastest men on the team. He's a burner. He can fly.
Continues to tick away in the first half, down to the waning moments. 1:23. Ferguson to throw. Avoids the pressure. Complete. First down, FSU. Herb Gaynor with the catch. Vinny Testaverde, the junior, can only watch as the freshman works meticulously for Florida State.
That's an amazing play by Ferguson as he avoids pressure from Stubbs and McVeigh. And watch how he slides to his left, wheels now, and throws back across field to his right. It's Gainop, number 3, who makes the reception, and that's a remarkable play for the 18-year-old freshman.
Under a minute to go now. Floyd picks up 2. The thing that's most impressive about Chip Ferguson, who is a true freshman, is the fact that he threw an interception early, came back and has shown tremendous composure thus far.
By his own admission, he was very nervous. He learned of this starting assignment on Tuesday. They were hampered in practice this week because of the rain. Despite all that, Chip Ferguson is now 9 of 14 in the passing department for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Holding. Offense. Still first down.
So that's a big penalty against Florida State as they were marching down inside Miami territory. Now they move back to the 48. Their own 48 with 45 seconds left. Gain of 2. How can anybody that owns a snake and plays with a boa constrictor all day be afraid of a football game or be nervous to go out on the field? That's his pet, Bo.
Well, now you just revealed something to me. Tell me more about that. He's a snake charmer, huh?
That's it. He likes.
We've seen some of those in college football through the years.
Said he carries Bo with him everywhere he goes.
Bo as in boa constrictor.
Boa constrictor. 36 seconds left. Floyd, right side. I think they'll just move it up down the middle of the field and try to give Schmidt a chance if they can with 30 seconds left. Now, I remind you that Derek Schmidt, the place kicker for Florida State, has a strong leg. His longest ever is 54 yards against Miami a year ago. He has had 2 51-yarders this year.
Speaking of Bo, not as boa constrictor, but as in Bo Jackson, how about how Florida contained Bo today?
Tough day for Bo. Look at this as the other players now slapping hands, giving a little bit of confidence. He's loose, smiling. He knows the game's on television.
I'll tell you an interesting statistic. I have covered the Seminoles off and on since 1967, and I have never seen them lose. I told Bobby Bowden that yesterday. I said, I don't want to jinx you. But, you know, I've never seen the Seminoles lose all the games that I've covered them. That goes back to covering a Memphis State game at Memphis in 1967 when Kim Hammond was the quarterback. They had a great wide receiver at that time named Ron Sellers. I'm sure you remember him.
Sure, Jingle Joints. Scored a touchdown on my brother Mike in Maryland.
Can't put anything over on you, Tim Brandt.
Mike had the same problem in Maryland I did. Slow. "30 seconds remain here in Tallahassee. Florida State leads 24-14. That's the time remaining in the first half. Ferguson now on 3rd and 14. Try to get Schmidt in position. A lot of pressure backside. And oh my, Ferguson is really tagged. Dan Stubbs, 96.
The caption here reads, "Welcome to Division 1A football, Chip Ferguson." That's from Dan Stubbs, number 96, who comes around on the blind side of the quarterback.
Now Miami calls a timeout with 14 seconds left. Love to watch these two coaches play a little chess game with each other down below. Both coaches very aggressive, very outspoken, very animated.
Chess game, all right. Pawn to Queen 4.
There's Jimmy Johnson. Oklahoma State, his first head coaching job. He turned things around there, now maintaining a fine program here at Miami. 6.5 years as a head coach. Played and coached for Frank Broyles.
Part of the famous Broyles-Arkansas connection. Frank's guys are dominating in Division 1A football. We'll talk more about that. Johnson, Hatfield, Jones, Switzer, Akers, Fry. 6 coaches influenced by our colleague Frank Broyles in Division 1A football.
Well, there's the punter, Lewis Berry. I don't know what the holdup is now. 14 seconds left. They adjust the clock. That's what it was as you look at Bobby Bowden. 79, 31, and 2 at FSU. And would love to have the 80th win of his career against interstate rival Miami. So they do adjust the clock. 32 seconds remain. Well, now what are they doing to it? They've gotten me confused. I think the coaches are confused, but now they're set to go. They decide on 18 seconds. Barry is the punter. Brett Perryman and David Kintai are the deep backs for Miami. Pressure. Taken at the 5. That's David Kintai. And he runs out of bounds with 9 seconds left. And I mean, he was run out of bounds and almost up into the cheap seats.
Well, remember that Testaverde can throw the ball about 70 or 80 yards in the air. He has a tremendously strong arm. So now he can throw one down here and hope for a long completion to set up a field goal.
Or one of those deflected passes, which they know so much about. It was Doug Flutie who threw one against them last year.
However, you can't hope for an interference call anymore. They've changed the rule.
8 seconds remain. Give inside is Oliver, and that should do it. The crowd appreciates it. I think they've enjoyed it as much as we have. We hope you have too. Miami has proven something. They are big, they're strong, they're fast, quality team. Florida State has really gone after them here. Florida State 2 with 1 loss, both with 6-1 records. And Florida State, I think, was ready.
Well, we talked about the offensive show at the top, but also that the key would be in pressuring quarterback Vinny Testaverde. And Florida State has been effective in doing that. They've sacked Testaverde 3 times. They've hurried him on numerous other occasions, and as a result of that, they have been able to control the football game here in the first half. So they have excited the home crowd at Doak Campbell Stadium of more than 60,000 fans.
Those 60,000 now paying tribute to Dick Hauser, the manager of the world champion. And what a royal greeting he's getting here. Hauser hopefully will come up and join us sometime during the half.
And indeed, the state of Florida could not be more proud of one of its favorite sons. Please welcome back the manager of the world champion Kansas City Royals, Dick Hauser.
Dick Hauser played here at Florida State, 1957. He coached here before the Yankees signed him. And now he manages a world champion. Shortstop, pretty good one, 1956, 57, and 58. There he is. What a World Series it was.
To Motley for the title.
There it is. Dick Hauser, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, the world champions, and he is being honored here in Tallahassee, Florida.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. By AC Delco, General Motors Corporation, quality replacement parts for just about anything that moves. AC Delco, the smart parts. We'll return with our halftime activities after this message and a word from your local station.
Some have it, some don't. Afrin doesn't have it. Dristan doesn't have it. Only Sinex has it for stuffy noses. Ooh. That quick feeling of relief from instantly penetrating Vicks Vapors, plus a powerful decongestant that opens nasal passages so you breathe freely.
Oh,
A complete relief.
For hours and hours. Sinex has it for instant and complete relief in regular and 12-hour extra strength.
From Vicks, of course.
The North, a beacon for industry and progress. The South, steeped in a proud tradition of honor.
No small thing for a man to have a son at West Point.
A nation divided by two different ways of life. And two friends bound by loyalty but separated by heritage.
Maury, no!
Don't ever interfere with us again, or ask me to go against my own kind.
John Jake's unforgettable saga, North and South, starting tomorrow.
In Palm Beach County, how do you spell shopping relief?
R-O-S-N-E-R-S.
Rosner's gives you 110% guaranteed lowest prices on name brand video recorders, televisions, microwaves, refrigerators. Rosner saves you time and money and takes the shopping out of your appliance buying. Our ads are real because we have what you came for and you buy it for less. Where do you find shopping relief?
See today's post for this week's specials at Rosner's.
We've got 80 good employees. So when healthcare cost went up, we had 80 good reasons to hang on to quality health insurance, and we did. With Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida. Their new Preferred Patient Care program gives our people broader coverage. It's saving us money, and that's important to me and to my employees. It's the perfect balance between quality benefits and reasonable cost. I'll tell you, we talked to a lot of companies, but only one heard what we were saying.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida.
Jim Gallagher with Eyewitness 12 Sports.
We are at halftime at Doak Campbell Stadium, and our score is 24-14, Florida State. Well, hello again, everybody. Tim Brandt along with Lee Grosscup, and I think we got our money's worth in the first half, Cupper. I'm telling you, they came out, they threw, they ran, and they gave us some excitement.
Well, you know, we talked at the top of the show about the quarterback matchup, and I think that we have seen a young freshman rise to the occasion today, really meet the challenge going against Vinny Testaverde, one of the premier quarterbacks in America.
Chip Ferguson is a true freshman, and again, we tell you, the most impressive thing thus far in this ball game has been the way he came back after throwing an interception and really showed some great composure.
Well, he has great numbers, too. 10 of 15, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's outpassed Testaverde. He's 9 of 19, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Testaverde, of course, very strong arm, very composed, the kind of guy that can come back and make a lot of things happen in the second half. This game far from over, but thus far it has been really some kind of exciting.
The Prudential Halftime Report is being brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and financial services. The Prudential, the rock. It's strong, it's on the move, it's bigger than life.
All right, we've got 3 minutes to try to catch up with as many scores as possible. In the third quarter at Columbus, Ohio, Ohio State is leading #1 ranked Iowa 15-7. Chuck Long has already been intercepted 3 times in that ball game. Penn State came from behind in the fourth quarter to beat Boston College 16-12. Nittany Lions needed a clutch interception return in the fourth quarter to pull that one off. Nebraska is leading Kansas State 27-3 in the fourth quarter. Business as usual for the Huskers, who are doing it on the ground. Michigan and Illinois played to a 3-3 tie. As I mentioned to those of you who are watching Notre Dame and Navy, Illinois' Chris White tried a 37-yard field goal on the last play of the game that would have won it for the Illini. It was partially blocked and hit the crossbar. Florida's unbeaten streak goes to 18 games. They beat Auburn 14-10. Bo Jackson with a bruised thigh in the first half, played only briefly in the second half, 16 carries for 48 yards. Air Force is rolling over San Diego State. It's now 24-10. The Falcons in the third quarter, they're still unbeaten and untied. Oklahoma leading Kansas 34-6 in the third quarter. One of the big early plays there, a Holloway to Keith Jackson touchdown pass for 57 yards. Florida State is leading Miami 24-14 in a wild game that many of you are seeing. The rest of you are watching Alan Pinkett having a big game as Notre Dame leads Navy 20-10 at the half. Army beat Holy Cross 34-12. Big games for both Crawford, the quarterback, and Black, the fullback. Fennerty of Holy Cross went over 1,000 yards for the third year in a row. Syracuse beat Pittsburgh 12-0. 4 Pitt turnovers sealed the Panthers' fate in that one. Maryland beat North Carolina 28-10. Bobby Ross still unbeaten versus the Tar Heels at 4-0. Maryland has beaten North Carolina 6 out of 8 years. Georgia Tech beat Duke 9-0 in a mud game in which both teams were reduced to punting on third down to try to get field position in the second half. Clemson beat Wake Forest 26-10. Danny Ford has never lost to Wake Forest. North Carolina State staged a dramatic comeback, coming from behind 17-6 to beat South Carolina 21-17. Eric Kramer was benched in the first half, came back to throw 2 touchdown passes and lead the comeback in the last 4 minutes. Alabama's getting a big game from Mike Shula, who has sat down with more than 200 yards passing. Albert Bell caught 2 balls, both of them for touchdowns, as the Tide leads Mississippi State 41-6. LSU got 2 Dalton Hilliard touchdowns, beat Mississippi 14-0. Mississippi lost quarterback Kent Austin to injury in that game. Tulane lost to Georgia 58-3. Freshman Tim Worley, 3 touchdowns for the Dogs. Tennessee used 3 quarterbacks, rolled up 40 points in beating Rutgers 40-0. Bowling Green moves to 9-0. McClure over 200 yards again as they beat Northern Illinois 34-14. Michigan State beat Minnesota 31-26. Courageous effort for Minnesota, which played without Ricky Foggy at quarterback. Alan Holt, the backup quarterback, threw for 275 yards. Minnesota hadn't been throwing the ball at all this year. Michigan State got a big game from Lorenzo White, 49 carries, 172 yards. Purdue beat Northwestern 31-7. Jim Everett, 1 half and 1 series in that game, 23 of 31, 292 yards and 2 TDs. Indiana and Wisconsin, 28-20 Badgers in the 4th quarter. Oklahoma State beat Colorado 14-11. Both touchdowns scored by Thurman Thomas, who rushed for over 200 yards. Missouri falling to Iowa State 24-17. Mizzou is still winless in Woody Widenhofer's first season. Arkansas leading Rice 24-6 in the 3rd quarter. The Hogs with a big showdown next week against Baylor. Texas moves to 5-2. Brett Stafford has a good game as the Longhorns beat Texas Tech 34-21. Houston at TCU at 17-7 favor Houston in the 3rd quarter. Brigham Young on top 31-0 at halftime. Hymuli having a big game for BYU. Stanford at Washington, 2 Rick Finney touchdowns, 17-0 Washington at halftime. Arizona State at Cal, it is 10-8 favor Arizona State in the 2nd quarter. San Jose State at Oregon, 14-10 the Ducks in the 2nd quarter. Arizona at Oregon State. Arizona trying to bounce back from the shocking loss to Stanford. And the Wildcats lead Oregon State 14-0 in the 2nd quarter. We'll be back with more right after this.
It's a jungle. That's how it feels when you're searching for life insurance. The natives don't speak your language. You feel lost, in the dark, scared. But there is a sign of civilization. With Prudential, your agent will explain things clearly and work with you until you have a piece of the rock you feel comfortable with. No wonder more people choose Prudential for life insurance than any other company. You'll feel right by the rock. Prudential Life Insurance.
The rock we trust with our lives is on the move. The Prudential is now bigger than any real estate investor, bigger than the biggest stockbroker. Today, it's big enough for almost every financial need, from insurance to stocks and bonds and everything in between. The rock, the Prudential. It's strong, it's on the move, it's bigger than life.
For college football, former Florida athlete Tom Warner.
I was on football scholarship at the University of Florida, but during my freshman year I was injured and I never got a chance to play. Even though my own doctors said that I could play, the team doctors felt that I shouldn't, so I didn't. But Florida kept me on full scholarship and I went on to graduate and went on to law school. Today I'm a successful lawyer and I feel that I owe a lot to college football.
College football. It's doing a lot of good.
The preceding message has been provided by the College Football Association.
Next week, here on College Football Today at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central Time, we will begin a 5-part series to be called Turmoil or Turning Point in College Football, a series of discussions with influential figures in college athletics seeking to find some solutions for the kinds of problems which have caused so much bad publicity for the sport of college football this fall. Now, while some stations break away for local news headlines, we'll continue from here with more halftime activities.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gary Tuckman. We'll be with you for a full half-hour report tonight at 7 p.m., but now it's time for our halftime headlines. Larry Bonanno has been found not guilty. The Lake Park man had been accused of sexually assaulting 4 teenage girls last year in 2 separate incidents. But late last night, a jury of 6 men found Bonanno not guilty. Bonanno had been accused by the prosecution of forcing the 4 Wellington girls to bend over forward as he assaulted them. But the defense claimed the girls misidentified the assailant. Both sides did agree the assaults happened, however. Bonanno still remains in jail today for an unrelated probation violation. A big election is coming up in Palm Beach County this Tuesday, and supporters of one of the issues on the ballot continued a walking campaign today. Vote for beach bonds is the cry of those supporters who are continuing a 3-day walk on our beaches from Broward to Martin counties. The county wants to issue $75 million in bonds to buy beachland for sale to preserve it for the future. Those opposing the bond issue say it's too much money to spend and nobody actually is allowed to own the ocean anyway. Bond supporters say beach access is the question. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we will bring you part 6 of our exclusive series about life in Cuba. This evening, we'll take a look at medical care. It's free for all citizens and visitors, but the wait in the hospital waiting room is just what you would expect for something free. We'll tell you how Cubans adjust to it tonight in our series, Cuba, Our Mysterious Neighbor. Now it's time to take a quick look at our current weather conditions. Right now in West Palm Beach, it's 84 degrees. The humidity is at 46%. The winds are coming from the southwest at 7 miles per hour, and the barometer is 29.74 inches and falling. Bob Nichols will be with us later for a full look at our weather. In the world of sports, there are crucial tests today for Florida State and Miami, the game you're watching, and the Florida Gators, who are playing Auburn. Dan Oliver will be here with highlights from college football tonight. Those are our halftime headlines. We hope you'll join us tonight at 7 and 11 o'clock for our weekend reports. Until then, enjoy the second half.
Shula and Alabama tangle with the LSU Tigers, or number 11 Arkansas meets 10th-ranked Baylor. CFA coverage begins with College Football Today next Saturday.
Quickly now, let's see what happened today in the East. Paul Palmer had another big day for Temple, but Delaware, the Blue Hens, defeated the Temple Owls 17-10. Penn won for the 13th straight time in Ivy League competition. They trailed 21-0, came back to win 31-21. There were 3 Jim Crochichia TD passes in this comeback, but the key play was a 79-yard punt return that tied the game. The Princeton players claimed they touched the ball before Penn's Chris Flynn picked it up. Flynn went 79 yards and tied the game, and Penn went on to the victory. Harvard beat Brown 25-17 today. A bitter loss for Brown coach John Rosenberg, who is Harvard's class of '67. Yale and Dartmouth 17-17 tie in that football game. Cornell played Bucknell and won it 26-13 at Bucknell. And Colgate, which scored 43 points in losing to Army last week, got 55 in beating Columbia today. We'll be back right after this.
Some investors who thought oil was the only answer came up dry. They've seen that tying up all their money in banks isn't always in their best interest. And that following the takeover fad of the moment can lead to slim picking. More and more, the ambitious investor is following Prudential Bates, whose rock-solid investment strategy is leading the way to the future. Prudential Bates Securities. Follow a leader.
Daddy, their ship has come in!
Sure. Find the holes in your homeowner's insurance before they find you.
Sorry to barge in.
Have a Prudential representative give you a fast, free Pru review of your coverage.
Are we covered? If you had a Pru review, you'd know.
Get a Pru review from the Prudential and get a piece of the rock.
Don't look like Bermuda to me.
College football, the All-American game.
The preceding message has been provided by the College Football Association.
We are at halftime with our score, Florida State 24, Miami 14. And what a pleasure it is to be sitting in this booth with the manager of the world champion, Kansas City Royals, Dick Howser. Have you come down yet, or are you still up there?
I'm working on it, Tim. Right now, I'm still on cloud 9, but it's a great feeling. I'm glad to be back in Tallahassee. I've got to go back to Kansas City tomorrow, but this is a great place to be today.
Let's go back and relive that final out of that game and tell me what was going through your mind after coming back after everybody in the world said you couldn't do it.
Tim, what happened in the top of the 9th inning? That's a big play, the final out. I wanted to get the first out. We wanted to get the first out. Saberhagen got the ground ball to Frank White, I knew we had it won at that time.
Tell me about the hat right there you're tucking away.
Yeah, it's a good luck hat. I had it when the playoffs. I had it flown up. I left it in Kansas City. The Kaufmans, the owners, blew it up on a Learjet to Toronto. We won the final 2 games in Toronto. I wanted that hat. I want to have it next year, too.
How superstitious are you?
Well, I've got some superstitions. When things are going good, I don't want to change it. When they're going bad, we're going to make a lot of changes.
One of the most interesting things that I think is interesting anyway is that you played here in the late 50s. One of your teammates, Ron Frazier, now the coach at Miami, he wins the World Series, the College World Series. You win it the same year. What a tribute.
Yeah, it really is. Ron Frazier's done a great job at the University of Miami. He's a former teammate. It's been a great year for both of us.
Let's go back into the locker room now when you're down 3-1, and, of course, everybody in the world's counting you out. What do you tell the guys?
Tim, I didn't say anything. Our players knew that our pitching was the best in baseball. You don't have to explain that to the players, and we felt like if we could get back to Kansas City, the Cardinals had to look at Lee Brandt and Saberhagen. That would be good enough. It was good enough.
Saberhagen, just 21 years old, out of California, comes down with all the pressure in the world on that last game. Pitches tremendously. Was he nervous?
Yes. Unlike he was all season. Yeah, I was a little bit afraid. Gary Blaylock, the pitching coach, said, Dick, I've never seen Saberhagen quite like this. And I said, if he can get by the first hitter, we'll be in good shape. He did, and we were.
And, of course, this week you went to the White House. How was that?
Just outstanding. I was very impressed. Of course, anybody would be impressed, but it was a great day. We flew from Kansas City. We had a chance to meet in the Oval Office, and then we went to the Rose Garden, and I presented the president with a Royals jacket. When you go to the White House and you present the president with an award, you know you've done something good, and I'm real proud about that.
Well, you got royal treatment there. Now you come here, and I know you've got to be superstitious here. Do you sit in the same seat every home game?
I've had season tickets for 12 years. I've got 4 season tickets. I sit right on the 35-yard line with my friends here in Tallahassee. I wouldn't trade seats with anybody.
Great first half, huh?
Got a good first half so far. I knew Florida State's defense was good. I hope they can hold on the second half.
You know, the one thing that has surprised me is the way that Florida State has played so aggressively. Dick, thanks for stopping by. Really enjoyed it. Great series.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, so we are at halftime as Chief Osceola and Renegade take to the field. Again, wage war. 24-14, our score. Here's the block kick that turned things around in the first half. It had been poor snaps. It has been poor punch by Miami, which caused a lot of the problems.
That's the first time I have seen that since 1972 when Auburn did that on consecutive kicks against Alabama. It was Davis who went in for the touchdown.
John Hadley was the guy that got the block. Now here's Chip Ferguson, the freshman.
It's the play-action fake to the fullback that freezes Blades in the secondary, number 36, and it's Pat Carter, the tight end, going up the right seam, number 85, Pat Carter, for a 26-yard touchdown, and we had some kind of first half, Tim Brown.
Only his second touchdown reception of the year. He has a touchdown here today. And Florida State has the lead as we head into the second half. It's 24-14.
The Prudential Halftime Report was brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and financial services. The Prudential, the Rock. It's strong. It's on the move. It's bigger than life.
Florida State University is setting the pace in high technology research in chemistry, physics, engineering, meteorology, and other fields of study.
With a supercomputer, one of the most powerful in the world, Florida State faculty and students tackle research projects with far-reaching implications for government, industry, and higher education.
We're targeting challenges of tomorrow with today's state-of-the-art technology at Florida State University.
Nissan 300ZX Turbo. You know the car. But do you know what it's like to drive it? Now you know. Once you get inside a Z will get inside of you. For high-performance sports cars like the 300ZX, the name is Nissan.
Watching an adventure movie on a VCR? Terrific. But you're only hearing half the fun until you hear Zenith's Hi-Fi Stereo VCR. With stereo sound so real, it's like being there. You can even tune in and record stereo TV broadcasts. Zenith's VHS Hi-Fi Stereo VCR.
Look out! Quicksand, old boy.
One of the smart VCRs. Zenith, smarter than ever.
Betty Dorfman before the Nikon One Touch. Betty after the Nikon One Touch. The Parfit family before the Nikon One Touch. The Parfit family after. Mr. Dennis Pinkstaff before. Mr. Pinkstaff after.
This is great.
The new autofocus autoflash Nikon One Touch. It's so easy to use, it's given thousands of people something they've always wanted.
Oh, the baby's a week old. Got any pictures?
Pictures they can be proud of.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by GTE. We can do business with your business. And by Nikon. We take the world's greatest pictures.
On the left is number 20, Keith Ross. On the right, 44, Chuck Wells of Florida State. Mark Sealing kicks off for Miami to start the second half, and this one is way deep in the end zone, taken by Keith Ross. What a pleasure it was to talk to Dick Hauser at halftime. These are the first half stats, Lee Grosscup.
Well, we talked at the top of the show about the importance of pressuring Vinny Testaverde. And you look at the rushing yards there for Miami, -8, and you get a sense of how they have been able to shut him down, the passing yards totaling 127. But there is better balance there for Florida State, and as a result of that, they lead 186 to 119 in total yardage.
Hassan Jones, who was shaken up in the first half, doesn't start the second. It's Herb Gaynor, Philip Bryant. First down, Florida State, and the Seminoles jump. Chip Ferguson is the freshman quarterback who was simply outstanding in the first half. 10 of 15 for 99 yards. Defensive talent for Miami, John McVay, 6'2", 236 pounds. Derwin Jones, 268. Jerome
Dead
Brown,
ball.
275. There's
Offense.
the call we just
Still
told
first
you about.
down.
Dan Stubbs, 238. Winston Moss, quite a story there. Sam, strong linebacker, 230. George Myra Jr., 225. Rod Carter, 210. Very young secondary. 3 sophomores and a freshman. Big gainer, Floyd. Out across midfield, still on his feet to the 36-yard line. And Florida State didn't lose anything at halftime. They come out fired up and strong to start the second half, first down. There's your secondary we were just telling you about. It is young, but it can play. Very aggressive, extremely smart, and there's a lot of athletic talent there. 21-yard gain by Floyd. He now has 59 on the day as Hassan Jones comes back in for Florida State. Ball on the 36, first down. The freshman, Ferguson. Gain of 5.
Ferguson on the quarterback keeper.
Here's the offense. Ferguson, we talked all about true freshman there. Floyd, 59 yards first half. Cletus Jones, the fullback. Herb Gaynor and Darren Holloman, the wide receivers. Carter, tight end. A couple of big catches, including a touchdown in the first half in the offensive line. 2nd and 7. And there's a flag. Cletus Jones is the ball carrier. And they love their football here in Tallahassee.
Cletus Jones, the ball carrier. Flag at the 42.
It's against the Seminoles, holding.
Cletus Jones, of course, is the man who has a big play in the second quarter on a fake punt. He being the upback, moved the ball into scoring territory for the Seminoles. Floyd, you just mentioned his numbers, 59 yards and 10 carries.
Holding. Offense. Still second down. What down is?
Referee Gil Gelbick. makes the call. Just underway, the second half of play. Tim Grant and Lee Grosscup. Florida State leads by 10, second and 17, the ball on the 29. Floyd, and again he has a big hole on the right side. George Myra Jr. made the tackle, number 45 for Miami. What a career his dad had at Miami.
Hayden Fry happened to scratch and claw in that game if he's going to come back to win it. They've had some thrillers there, but that's tough.
Well, Air Force is still undefeated, still have a couple there, but I'll tell you what, you're not going to see many unbeaten clubs anymore in college football. There is parity now with the limitation on scholarship. 3rd and 8 from the 37. Where's the ball?
Let's go.
Ferguson has it. He's down. Trip coming out from center. How do you... Did you ever do that as a quarterback?
Yep. It can happen. Back away too quickly. Don't ride that center. You don't get the ball properly, you're in trouble.
Berry kicks it away. Perryman and Kintyre, the deep backs. It's going to be David Kintyre, the receiver for Miami. Great coverage. So after a great first half, it's a little bit sloppy here the second half. That 45-yard punt gives Miami back the ball for the first time this half.
Now, there are solar-powered telephone calls. Why? Well, in many of the world's more remote areas, it's highly impractical, if not impossible, to run telephone lines. And since our solar repeaters, which relay the calls via radio wave, get their power from the sun, no lines are needed. Gee. No. GTE.
Have it all. Who says you can't love your work and the change of pay? Who says you can't have light beer with super premium taste? Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can.
Super premium taste and a less filling beer.
Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can.
Monday night, the Dallas Cowboys 6-2 against the St. Louis Cardinals 3-5. Big game in the NFC East, and I guarantee you the Giants, the Redskins, and the Eagles will be watching that one closely, as we will. First down, Miami. Testaverde. Going long. Blades across midfield to the 44-yard line. And Brian Blades and Testaverde pick up where they left off. Martin Mayhew made the tackle. This is the Florida State defensive unit. Isaac Williams, the nose guard, Todd Stroud. Stroud, 233 pounds, strong. Gerald Nichols, 265. He's got good feet. Jax is 230. These are all young players, except for Darrell Gray. He's a senior. Freddie Jones is a junior. He's an underclassman. McGowan is a sophomore. And on they go. Underclassmen. Again, same situation in the secondary as Miami. 3 sophomores and a freshman. Starting to rain now. Testaverde on first down. Plenty of time. Has the receiver complete. Gain of 4. Here's Martin Mayhew. He's the guy that makes things happen. Broke up 4 passes last week. Eric Williams, Stanley Shiver, and Greg Newell. Shiver is the freshman. The rest are all sophomores. Second and 7. Pressure, backside. Testaverde escapes. And that'll be all. Stanley Shiver had to come up and make the tackle. But again, Testaverde found a lot of pressure. Testaverde has struggled, injured his left elbow in the first half. He has a pad on it now. Oliver, Highsmith, Blades, and Irvin. Those are the skilled positions. Down deep, you've got Willie Smith. He's a good one. Then you go down in the trenches. These guys, all juniors, underclassmen, only one. Bertucelli had experience prior to this year. 3rd and 5. First down, Hurricanes. William Smith, the tight end, just dragged across the middle, came underneath the linebackers.
That's the way to silence the crowd, and that was a good call and good execution that time by Testaverde as he looked for his tight end, Smith, on a curl out pattern. Got into the open area of the coverage, and that's the type of play that can work effectively either against man or zone. Good protection there. Smith, number 84, curls to the outside. Gets in front of Hayes, number 46.
8-yard pickup, ball on the 32. First down, flags. The pass is complete to Brian Blades, but there is a flag.
Flag down at the 33.
It's against Florida State. Florida State's been a little bit sloppy here to start the second half. Wow.
Wow is right. That's some indication of how the Canes have been in the third quarter and how they have dominated their opponents. They're a big, strong, physical team. They can wear you down, and they have the firepower.
All right, now that we've said that, let me tell you about the other side of the line of scrimmage. Florida State has shut out 4 of 7 teams in the second half this year. The only Auburn has scored more than 1 touchdown after intermission. That's an interesting play. 1st and 5, and Testaverde can't hear. Testaverde now is going to talk things over with Jimmy Johnson. Says, hey, coach, things are loud here. What do we do now? We trail by 10. 9:47. We'll be back.
We're not a company, but outstanding people come to us every day. People who want to make a contribution to a team and do work that really counts. People eager to see new places, do the unusual, and find the unusual. People who become your friends for life. People just like you. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Army. We're the armed forces. It's a great place to start.
It's easy to build a tough truck. Real easy. All you got to do is give it a 5-speed transmission, independent front suspension, steel-belted radials, welded double-wall bed, and a standard engine with power no other leading compact can beat. The hard part is doing it for a $59.99 sticker price. Only Nissan can do it. For a truck this tough, $59.99 is dirt cheap.
The name is Nissan.
The event second only to the Olympics. The U.S., Japan, the Soviet Union, and more at the World Gymnastics Championships on a special ABC's Wide World of Sports next Saturday.
Miami is charged with the timeout. When we were talking to Vinny Testaverde yesterday, I asked him about the crowd. I asked him about how loud it gets in here, and he says, hey, we've worked it out. I've got hand signals for the wide receivers in case they can't hear me if I audibilize. He's got 1st and 5 here and gives it up the middle to Oliver. Look at the leg drive on Oliver. He's going to be up close to a 1st down. Paul McGowan made the stop for Florida State. See where it's marked. 1st down, Miami.
Oliver, one of 4 runners that we spotlighted at the top of our show. These runners are pretty much interchangeable. As we look at Osceola and his horse Renegade, Oliver, Williams, Highsmith, and Bratton have added up to about 1,000 yards rushing coming into today's game.
Oliver replaces Warren Williams. 1st down at the 20. The pitch back. It is Oliver, and he picks up a few.
Darrell Oliver carrying for Miami.
A very important comparison, something that we have been talking about right along. Vinny Testaverde has more yards, but look at the numbers on Chip Ferguson. 10 of 15 for 99 yards, 2 touchdowns, and only 1 interception as, well, Testaverde has the 2 touchdowns.
2nd and 6 on the 16. Testaverde, complete, plenty of room. Williams Smith to the 2. William Smith, the tight end, worked himself free, and when a tackle was missed, he picked up another chunk down to the 2-yard line.
I watch this because I think it points out how strong Vinny Testaverde is. He's backpedaling, he's throwing while under a lot of pressure, and still gets the ball thrown with a lot of authority to William Smith, number 84, his tight end, who takes the ball down to the 6-yard line before Shiver brings him down.
14-yard gain, first and goal, Hurricanes at the 2. Right side, Highsmith, touchdown.
Alonzo Highsmith in for the Hurricane score.
I like this call to the fullback, Alonzo Highsmith, number 30. Get the ball wide to your best ball carrier on first down. Get him some running room. Good block there by the fullback, Oliver, number 37. The lead block there springs him. A look from ground level, and you see that block at a better angle. Look at the stiff arm right there on number 32, Mayhew, which gets him into the end zone.
Cox with the extra point. And with 8 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play, Joe S. Campbell Stadium, Florida State 24, Miami 21.
Bigger engines were easy on oil, but today's smaller, higher revving engines are tougher. They begin to break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. That's why there's Castrol. Tests show Castrol suffers no significant loss of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So use Castrol, because if you make things too hard on your engine could make things hard on you. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
This year, I needed to give a real family pleaser.
Honey, please, help me with this budget.
How about a new game, Dad? Please.
And I found it. Radio Shack's Color Computer 2. On sale for just $88. It entertains, educates, manages. It's expandable and affordable. Now that really pleases me.
The Color Computer 2. Sale price for Christmas. Only at Radio Shack.
There is more to this game than just the college rankings. Florida State ranked 9th, Miami ranked 11th, but there are also representatives of 8 bowls here this evening, including the Orange Bowl New Year's Eve. And the winner of this game will have the inside track to that Orange Bowl. It's Roth and Wells, deep for Florida State. It's Ross who puts the ball on the ground, picks it up, and gets back to the 17-yard line. Ross, we mentioned, he was signed by Florida, played 3 years in the Phillies organization, and now is here with Florida State.
That's the way the drive worked out. It was Highsmith taking it in, but that was an impressive drive because it had a nice mixture of plays, good combination of runs and passes, and they chewed up time on the clock. I think that was an important time in the game for the Hurricanes. Now, this is an important defensive series.
Here comes the blitz. 3-step drop, throws across the middle, incomplete. You know, as a spectator, I can't imagine wanting anything else in a ball game. We've seen it all.
This is one of the better games that I've covered in a long time, and I'm glad to be here with you. Through the years, I have had the opportunity to cover many exciting football games, but this is the kind of game I like because of the fact that you have 2 teams who can throw the football, they can move on the ground, and they also have exciting defense.
A little bit of rain we have has stopped. The clouds have broken. The crowd has risen. Ferguson has it 2nd and 10 for Florida State. This is Floyd. He's nailed. Victor Floyd, freshman out of Pensacola, Florida, big first half. Third and 8. Ball on the 20. Miami blitzes. Pass across the middle, almost intercepted.
Oh, Chip Ferguson was lucky. He was under pressure from Dan Stubbs, number 96. The pressure is what makes him throw high. Dan Stubbs is coming around on his blind side. Right there. See the pressure right there? That's what makes him throw the ball high, and he nearly gets a pick.
Ferguson now 10 for 17, 99 yards. Lewis Berry will kick it away. David Kintyre, Brett Perryman, the deep backs, and this ball is sailing deep. What a punt. It's taken by Perryman, and he runs out of bounds on the 36, 37-yard line. So with 7:17 left in the third quarter of play, Miami gets good field position after that 51-yard punt.
Roger, I just drove a fantastic car, a Nissan Maxima. One test drive sold me on the spot. You know I know cars, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Maxima really impressed me.
Right.
It's got a 3-liter fuel-injected V6, 4-wheel independent suspension, adjustable shocks. The Maxima's loaded with technology.
Nissan Maxima, huh?
Oh, it's not for you, Roger. Doesn't cost enough.
When the objective is performance, the name is Nissan.
Stay on top, quick feet. That's good for him.
Man, I tell you, now that's tough to get the hang of.
So is that smokeless tobacco, Walt.
Go long cut now, it's real easy to use. Let's give it a try. Long cut means it packs easy, so it stays put between the sheet and gun.
Not moving around.
Yep, Skoal Long Cut makes it real easy to enjoy tobacco without lighting up.
Got a nice taste to it.
And it comes in wintergreen or mint. Easy to use, great taste. That's Skoal Long Cut.
It's as easy as falling off a log. Walt?
Mike Shula and Alabama tangle with the LSU Tigers. Or number 11 Arkansas meets 10th ranked Baylor. CFA coverage begins with College Football Today next Saturday.
Well, that's the weather situation here in Tallahassee. See that rainbow? Probably a pot of gold at the end of it for whoever wins this game, because they're going to a New Year's Eve bowl. 1st and 10 at the 38. Miami has the ball. This is Vinny Testaverde. Under pressure. Goes down again. Isaac Williams, number 45, put the pressure on it. He's from Sanford, Florida.
And that is sack number 4 on the day for Vinny Testaverde, as Isaac Williams, who had 6 tackles for loss coming into today's game. We mentioned his strength. You also saw his quickness right there.
Coming up next Saturday in a special edition of ABC's Wide World of Sports to see the World Gymnastics Championship from Montreal, Canada. Olympic men's all-around champion Koji Gushigan will be there, along with Tim Daggert, Scott Johnson of the United States. U.S. won the gold medal in L.A. Get the chance to see that on Wide World. Testaverde now, 2nd and 14. Throws one tackler aside. Now scrambles back to the right side and throws incomplete. Stanley Scott, number 83, is the man who applied the pressure. The whip!
The whip! But see that continuing pressure? We talked about that at the top of the show.
Well, we laugh a little bit about that whip. Last night at our production meeting, Lee Grosscup came in and whipped us all into shape. Told us if anybody got out of hand, they'd get it. Cupper, you're tough.
Got to add a little discipline to our production meeting.
Battle cry goes up here. Florida State in 3rd and 14. What can Testaverde do? Incomplete. Almost a great catch by William Smith. Oh, what an effort by him. 84, William Smith.
Pretty good protection this time. Now Smith slipped right there. Had he not slipped right there, Tim, I think he could have caught that football.
There is a flag.
Holding. Offense declined. 4th down. Remember, we talked about the shape of the turf. Very wet here. They had a helicopter out here yesterday morning to blow the water off the field.
Well, Miami has made this an adventure all afternoon. The punting game, Jeff Beagles. Again, he's under pressure. This one, he drives a mile. This is Deion Sanders at the 10. And he gets almost back to the 20. We'll put it down on the 19.
Well, the Seminoles were beating the drums. They're on the warpath. They want a touchdown now. They want more on the board. They need it. Meanwhile, they've continued to harass quarterback Vinny Testaverde. They have sacked him 4 times for a total of 46 yards.
Great punt that time, 52 yards. The return was only 9. Loud crowd. By the scoreboard, they've got a spear that lights up according to how loud the crowd is, and it's been near the top all afternoon. Ferguson on first down goes to the sideline and up, included, or intended rather, for Hassan Jones, but he was pushed out of bounds, stepped out of bounds, and that's legal. As long as they ride him only in the first 5 yards.
Yep, that's legal to there. That's getting close. It's a fade pattern to the outside. I think Hassan sensed that pressure coming, and he was distracted.
Obviously, you can't go out of bounds and come back in. There's the spear.
There it is.
Here it goes.
Whoa!
Here it goes.
Oh, yeah.
They get a big play, and it'll be lit at the top. 2nd and 10. Flags fly. Ferguson. Incomplete. Cletus Jones was the intended receiver.
Well, I wonder who Vinny's talking to. He's obviously calling for help. He might be asking for a few more blockers. He's been sacked 4 times.
Offsides. Defense. Still 2nd down.
Well, that'll make it 2nd and 5 to 24. Reverse pivot, option play. Victor Floyd. I'm telling you, when you can hear a lick like that,
whew, you know they're popping when you can hear it like that.
Either that or we're too close.
They call that their trap option. It's a little whirly bird. The quarterback reverse pivots, fakes to the fullback, and then he is optioning the corner. That means that he's going to keep it himself or he's going to pitch to the trailing back. Now, we don't think of the I formation usually as an option formation, but it can be very effective.
5:54 remaining. 3rd period. 3rd and 3. Seminoles. Ferguson, backside pressure. Over the middle. Should be a flag. There's not. How can they not call that?
Well, I'll tell you, Benny Blades is happy they didn't. Benny Blades is celebrating.
Oh, that's the reason. The ball was tipped, they say.
Watch the pressure first, Tim. See this? They're starting to establish the pass rush now. Stubbs is in there, right on him.
Well, if that's the case, if the ball was tipped, then it's not pass
here's the next important thing. See this? See, let's watch. Ball is tipped. Ball is tipped right there.
Good call. Kintai takes it on a run and runs out of bounds. Well, I apologize to the official then. Being very astute.
Number 45, George Myra Jr., son of the old quarterback, is the middle linebacker in the 4-3 defense, and he tips the ball right there.
No, I don't think it was Myra. It was Jerome Brown.
I take it back. It's Jerome Brown, the man who had such a great game against Oklahoma.
Brown is 6'3", 275 pounds, and he's got a big bear paw. From the 44, first down. You know, Bratton became famous, scored a touchdown with 28 seconds left against Boston College last year. Scored 4 touchdowns, as a matter of fact, in that game. But that's the touchdown that set up the play that Doug Flutie hit Phelan with, the miracle. Second and 11 to draw play. Highsmith. Got 2.
I said at the very top of the show that this was a pick'em game. I felt that the teams were well balanced, that they were well coached, and if there was any edge, it would be the fact that Miami had an experienced quarterback. But Chip Ferguson, the freshman, has been impressive. He has met the challenge thus far.
Non-stop 7. Big play. Backside pressure. Flag flies, and the ball is dropped. William Smith, 84, was the intended receiver, but there is a flag, and it could be holding against Miami. It is.
Holding. Offense declined. 4th down.
Deep for Florida State. Jeff Beagles, 38 for Miami. Out of bounds as the war chant continues to be played here. Let's go back to New York.
Tim Brandt, we have already told you about Florida's victory over Auburn. We've just gotten video of the winning touchdown. There were 7 minutes, 18 seconds to go when Kerwin Bell lofted this 8-yard touchdown pass to Ray McDonald. The Gators made it stand up. They haven't lost in 18 outings, and they beat Auburn today at Auburn, 14-10. Yours again.
Ironically, Jim, it is the only team that both of these teams play here. Of course, Miami lost to Florida in the opener, and Florida State gets its shot at the Gators in the last game of the season. It'll be 2nd and 8. 4 minutes remain. 3rd period of play. Ball on the 27. Florida State has the ball. Victor Floyd, and I think the linebackers are starting to key on Floyd. Every time he gets it, he draws a crowd.
Good 2nd and 3rd effort by Victor Floyd, the tailback. We talked about the importance of the tailback position at Florida State and how there would be a tandem working today in Floyd and Smith. Floyd has been dominating.
I tried to think of the term a minute ago, common opponent, but I couldn't do it. I think I had one too many Rydells under my chin. 3rd and 7, and Ferguson sacked. 2nd sack of the day against Ferguson. Miami came that time playing.
Hey, that's Kevin Fagan. Kevin Fagan in the game. Kevin Fagan, the great one who's been injured, number 95. Now watch the pressure that he applies to the blind side of Chip Ferguson, and that's a big plus for the Hurricanes because Fagan is the man they figured would be the most dominating defensive lineman for them, and he's been slowed down by injury.
Lewis Berry's punt, and it's a dandy. Kintai to the 30, out to the 34, fumbles the football, stays in bounds. Did it hit the line as the key, or was Kintai down? We'll wait for the call.
David Kintai on the reception for
By the reaction of the crowd, they say he was down. The ground cannot cause a fumble.
Along the left sideline on an 11-yard return, Kintai, number 11, bounces to the outside here. Yep, the ground does cause the fumble, and the ground cannot cause a fumble and have it be lost to the other team.
Almost as if the ball had eyes, staying in bounds. That's David Kintai. They're working on him. Testaverde. Incomplete. First down pass was intended for Michael Irvin. But Deion Sanders, the defender, stripped him of the football. Look at that sky. Glorious, glorious night in Tallahassee, Florida. Coming up next week, the 2 games you'll see. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Alabama, LSU, and Baton Rouge, Arkansas, and Baylor.
You're going to like that action.
The noise level of the spear. The war chant continues. The blitz is on. 2nd and 10. Incomplete. Alonzo Highsmith had a caravan in front of him and dropped the football.
Alonso's going to wish he had this one back. Look at this. The safety blitz is on. Everybody's coming. It's a perfect time for a screen. And Testaverde throws the ball to Highsmith. Look at the convoy he would have had had he been able to hold on to this football. Oh, my. Spectacular. 2:25 remain in the third period. 3rd and 10. Testaverde drops the ball and picks it up. And he's sacked for the 5th time. This time Isaac Williams is the guy who made the tackle along with Todd Stroud. And this 4th chant is nonstop. Sanders with a fair catch. So again, what I said at the very top of the show, that the key would be to pressure Vinny Testaverde. They have now sacked him 5 times for minus 53 yards, 7 yards minus on that last sack. The remains of Hurricane Juan have left a beautiful sky here in Tallahassee. 39-yard punt gives Florida State good field position. Here's the top 10. Ohio State now leading Iowa, 4th quarter. Iowa unbeaten until this day. Penn State wins again. As usual, it's close. Nebraska rolls up 41-3. Ferguson 0 for 4 this half. Wants to throw on 1st down and has Hassan Jones. Again, the talented young freshman goes to work to his favorite receiver, Hassan Jones, who cuts in front of Don Ellis, number 29, on a deep slant pattern. That ball was thrown just right. Look at the numbers on Hassan. 344, 1 touchdown. 1st down, runs the ball. Tony Smith may have lost a yard. Michigan and Illinois, 3-3 final. What a surprise that is. At least to me. Florida wins. Air Force. Fisher to Berry, what a year he's having with that wishbone offense. Oklahoma 48-6. Notre Dame leads Navy 27-10. That game in the 3rd quarter. Ferguson tucks it away. Across midfield into Miami territory and battles its way down to the 45-yard line. And there's a flag way behind the play up by the hash mark at midfield. A little extracurricular activity, perhaps. Personal foul against Florida State. And that's a mental error, and I'm sure Bobby Bowden wants no parts of. He'll talk to the official now and get the name and number of the player that was involved. Have some words with him a little bit later. That's costly. Ferguson fought his heart out to make that extra yardage.
Personal foul, offense, still 2nd down.
Personal foul can be assessed against the Seminoles. Still 2nd down.
Well, it makes it 2nd and 30 now for Florida State. Much bigger chore than it would have been. Ferguson unleashes the pass, and it's intercepted. Colbert Bain, number 18, was the man who had Philip Bryant covered pretty well. Took the inside hip pocket of the receiver, got the ball at his highest point, and made the interception.
The pressure first. Now let's watch Dan Stubbs, number 96, who has been in Ferguson's face all day. That's what really hurts right there, because he throws it too soon. And as he goes for Bryant, it's Bain, number 18, who is standing here in perfect position. Now watch this. He leaps high in the air to make the interception. Ferguson struggling a little bit now in the second half. Last play of this half, or this quarter rather. Across the middle, big completion. Again, it's Blades who makes the catch, and Deion Sanders was a defender. So as the third quarter ends, Miami now with a big play. Oh, that's the end of the third quarter. We'll be right back with more college football action for you after this commercial message and a word from your local stations.
Crow Wing, Minnesota, and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Crow Wing means Northern Pike, big and mean. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer, cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer, and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place, and Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
You know, it doesn't get any better than this.
Designs that work are designs that last. And a Delta washerless faucet lasts and lasts and lasts. When it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. So it works just as beautifully as it looks. Enduring designs by Delta for the beautiful designs that you live in. Delta Faucet, we're first because we last.
A strategic guide to the summit begins Monday on ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
We've got 80 good employees. So when healthcare cost went up, we had 80 good reasons to hang on to quality health insurance, and we did. With Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida. Their new Preferred Patient Care program gives our people broader coverage. It's saving us money, and that's important to me and to my employees. It's the perfect balance between quality benefits and reasonable cost. I'll tell you, we talked to a lot of companies, but only one heard what we were saying.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida.
Introducing something new and rather amazing. A super high-octane gasoline with twice the detergent it had before to give you a plus. A detergent strong enough to actually clean dirty fuel injectors to give your car power and performance it didn't have before. New Mobil Super Unleaded, high-octane with a plus.
Our magazine, 10 a.m. weekdays on TV 12.
That's the story as we start the final quarter here in Tallahassee. 3-point difference, 15 minutes remain, and Vinny Testaverde right there. Another 200-yard plus passing day. First down, he's under pressure, and he's sacked for the 6th time this afternoon. Big defensive play by Florida State. Lenny Chavers is the man who came in to make the tackle. So the continuing pressure on quarterback Vinny Testaverde is the key for Florida State. Sack number 6 on the day as we start the fourth quarter. 6 sacks for minus 61 yards. 2nd and 10 from the 49. The give inside. It's Alonzo Highsmith, and he's met immediately at the line of scrimmage. So Miami trailing by 3 with 14-12 remaining. And this is what's on the line. The Hurricanes have won 8 straight games on the road dating back to last year. They've beaten some biggies. And now they're fighting their hearts out here in their home state against Florida State. Third and 14. The ball on the 47. Testaverde throws deep, has a man, and it's complete. Michael Irvin, was he out of bounds? Yes! He made the catch, he was out of bounds. They'll bring it back.
Number 17, Derek Williams.
I want to welcome all of those of you who have been watching the Navy game at Notre Dame. We have a great one going here in Tallahassee. Tim Brandt and Lee Groscup with you. Florida State leads it 24-21. And it's been everything you could possibly imagine with passes, reverses, and a lot of defense here in the second half. Miami in the white has to punt it away. This is Jeff Fagel
we've got 13:37 remaining in the ball game. Deion Sanders takes the ball to the 12-yard line. Well, they started out in a hurry with the scoring schedule. Hassan Jones from Florida State caught an 8-yard touchdown pass from Ferguson right in the very beginning of the ball game. But then Miami came right back with 2 quick first-quarter touchdowns. Ryan Blades from Miami made both those catches. Here's your scoring summary. Now, if anything does happen to change things out in Notre Dame, then we'll take you back there immediately with Keith and Frank, and we'll update you. Second quarter scoring. Oh, what a ball game this has been. Carter, the tight end, with a 26-yarder. Derek Schmidt kicked the field goal for Florida State, 37 yards. Alonzo Highsmith from Miami scored, and that's where we are right now. Offsetting penalties, so Miami will kick it again. 13:25 remain in this ball game. 4th and 20. Miami has to kick it. This is Beagles. Deion Sanders is the deep back for Florida State. Signals for a fair catch, and that's where the Seminoles will have the ball. Ohio State has won a big game over Iowa. Upset them. And with 13:13 remaining in the ball game here at Tallahassee, we'll take a timeout with our score. Florida State 24, Miami 21.
Every now and then you'll come across a road like this. That's when more than ever you'll want a car like this, the Nissan 300ZX Turbo. You flick the adjustable suspension to firm and go for it. With 3 liters worth of fuel-injected muscle under you, it's your road now. And the feeling, like the car, is awesome. For high-performance sports cars like the 300ZX, the name is Nissan.
Raise your hand. You got it. Raise your hand. You know it. You feel confident, secure.
If you want to feel confident, raise your hand. If you want to feel secure, raise your hand. If you want protection that helps you feel dry all day, raise your hand and reach for sure.
Confident, dry and secure. Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand if you're sure.
Mike Shula and Alabama tangle with the LSU Tigers, or number 11 Arkansas meets 10th ranked Baylor. CFA coverage begins with College Football Today next Saturday.
Ohio State now a finalist, upset number 1 ranked Iowa 22-13. So the unbeaten Florida at 6-0-1, Penn State 7-0, and Air Force is 8-0. Here it's 24-21, Florida State. Chip Ferguson's the quarterback. He's a freshman. Give inside to Tony Smith. Tony Smith has 8 yards. Right now, let's go back to New York. Here's Jim Lampley.
All right, and here's what happened just moments ago at South Bend, Indiana. We will keep you up to date on the progress of that game. This was with the Irish at the football, having the football at the 49-yard line of Navy. Andersack throwing what became a 49-yard touchdown pass to Tim Brown. And that puts the Irish on top 34-10 in the game once again. If Navy makes a big comeback, we'll take you back there. Otherwise, you stay in Tallahassee with Tim. Tim?
Okay, Lance, Florida State, first down. Cletus Jones straight ahead.
And Tim, for those who are just joined us, we have had a compelling quarterback matchup. Chip Ferguson now 11 of 21 passing, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Vinny Testaverde, 15 of 31, 206 yards and 2 touchdowns. So the young freshman that we talked about at the top of the show has met the challenge here today, going against the redshirt junior Vinny Testaverde.
Ferguson on first down, looks deep, throws deep, has a man wide open, and it's complete. Philip Bryant, number 9, makes the completion deep down in Miami territory. And listen to this crowd.
For the second time, he has connected deep on plays like this. It's Philip Bryant, number 9, running a deep post pattern. He gets in behind Bain, number 18. The ball was thrown a little short. If he had thrown that about 5 yards further, he might have had a touchdown.
Ferguson, the freshman, to Bryant, the freshman, for the completion. Chip is now 12 of 22, 156 yards. First down on the 34. Incomplete, intended for Hassan Jones.
Hassan Jones, number 88, working on Don Ellis, number 29. Quick sideline cut. The ball released before he makes the cut. It's thrown a little bit too high and too inside. If he had thrown it low and outside, he would have had a shot at the ball. That's the story of two quarterbacks. The freshman going against the redshirt junior. Quite a performance for an 18-year-old who prior to today had not started a Division I-A football game.
Second and 10. Ferguson drills it. It's knocked down. Florida State 6-1. Miami 6-1. And there's more to this game than just the bragging rights of Florida, the recruiting, and everything else that goes along with it. But there are representatives of 8 bowl games here today, including the Orange Bowl. And the winner here today would have the inside track to that New Year's Eve game. Bobby Bowden told us that Miami now is in his briar patch. 3rd and 10. Big down for the Seminoles. 11:44 remain. Give inside to Cletus Jones, and he bangs his way down to the 27-yard line. He'll be 3 yards short of a first. Florida State now will bring on Derek Schmidt, the field goal kicker. Schmidt made a 37-yarder earlier in the game. His longest ever, 54 yards. Extremely consistent. Never missed an extra point. It's long enough, and it's good. A 44-yard kick by Derek Schmidt has made the game 27-21. Miami with 11:07 left.
Entrepreneur. One who assumes the risks of business. Rockwell International managers have the entrepreneurial freedom to move through the maze of business challenges. With advanced technologies and innovative quality products, Rockwell International entrepreneurs get results.
Mount Hood, Oregon and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Mount Hood means the best summer skiing in America. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place. An Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
Man, it doesn't get any better than this.
NFC East rivals collide as Tony Dorsett leads the Dallas Cowboys against Neil Lomax and the St. Louis Cardinals. Live at 9 Eastern on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
These two clubs have played 28 times in the past, and over that 28-year span, the total point differential is just 22 points.
This rivalry started in 1951, and it's been something.
Barry Barco kicks off. It'll be J.C. Penney. Takes it at the 5. To the 20. Has a hole. To the 40. Across midfield and into Florida State territory. J.C. Penney. Martin Mayhem made the tackle.
J.C. Penney, the return specialist for the Hurricanes. And by the way, J.C. Penney is a real name, and he has had an impressive catalog here today. You see, he makes a little juke step inside, outside, almost breaks it here, and it's number 32,
Mayhew,
who makes the tackle along the sideline.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line for Vinny Testaverde and the Miami Hurricanes. Florida State shows blitz. He's under pressure all afternoon. Flags. Testaverde has been sacked 6 times by the Seminoles. frustration by Testaverde. Strong arm quarterback physically. Looks a lot like Bernie Kosar. Well over 6 feet, 210 pounds. Very mobile quarterback.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. Still first down.
The only knock on Testaverde was that he doesn't read defenses as well as Kosar. But Jimmy Johnson says that's false. He is quality, I'll tell you that. He's got great feet, super mobility. 1st and 15, and again he's under pressure. Here's that mobility. Intercepted and dropped. Stanley Shiver had the ball and dropped it. It was intended for William Smith.
Watch the mobility here of Testaverde as he scrambles to his left. He's looking for his tight end, William Smith. He's pressured by Scott, number 83, as he throws on the move. Now Stanley Shiver, number 37, comes on. Nearly has an interception right there, but drops the football. That's a tough break for the Seminoles. But again, look at the pressure that they continue to put on quarterback Vinny Testaverde.
2nd and 15 from the 47. Testaverde. A little quick drop pass to Highsmith. There's not much there. Stanley Shiver again was the defender. Ironic thing about this rivalry is that the visiting team usually does very well. Miami winning 7 of 8 here in Tallahassee. Testaverde 16 for 33 on the evening. Big 3rd down play here. He needs at least 15. Goes deep, has a man. It's complete to Irvin. Still on his feet. And knocked out at the 30. 1st down, Miami. 10 minutes, 2 seconds remain. It's 27-21 Florida State.
Mike Irvin, number 47, who waited in the shadow of Stanley Shakespeare last season, runs a deep drag-in pattern right there. Vintage Testaverde, as he hits him right on the numbers, he outraces Williams and Sanders to the sideline for a big gainer for the Canes.
A gain of 22. It'll put the ball on the Florida State 30. 1st down as the war chant again rises. Testaverde pumps, reloads, wide open. Touchdown, Miami. Michael Irvin was wide open, and he has tied a school record for consecutive games with a touchdown catch. He now has 7 touchdown catches.
Touchdown number 3 for quarterback Vinny Testaverde. Watch the little pump fake right here. That sets it up for Irvin as he breaks beyond the secondary, takes it on the over-the-shoulder catch. He gets in front of Mayhew, number 32, and a perfect touchdown, number 3 for Vinny.
Greg Cox to attempt the all-important extra point. It's up, and it's good. So Miami has taken the lead for the first time since the 1st quarter. We've got 9:55 remaining, and our score, Miami 28, Florida State 27.
Hey, Hotshot! Race you back to the start. Okay, loser buys.
There's something about a Nissan 4x4 that makes turning it off just about the toughest thing you can do. Nissan calls it electro-fuel injection, independent front suspension, and a tough box ladder steel chassis. You just call it outrageous performance.
What? Who cares?
For an unbeatable 4x4, the name is Nissan.
The enemy, potholes. When pavement cracks, it can tear your tires to shreds. Now consider Vector, Goodyear's unique all-season radial. Its crisscross tread has a backbone of belted steel to help repel road hazards and deliver thousands of miles of sure-footed performance. The Goodyear Vector. It simply performs like no other tire in the world.
Mike Shula and Alabama tangle with the LSU Tigers. Or number 11 Arkansas meets 10th ranked Baylor. CFA coverage begins with College Football Today next Saturday.
Vinny Testaverde, 18 of 35 today, 3 touchdowns.
Another look at the touchdown. The pump fake sets it up as Irvin breaks behind Mayhew. And watch this, how beautifully this ball is thrown. It settles over the outside shoulder. And with that reception, 7 straight touchdowns, a touchdown in 7 straight games, breaks the old record set by Eddie Dunn way back in 1938.
He was wide open. Had at least 5 yards on Martin Mayhew. Seelig will now kick off for Miami. And deep to the Seminoles. Be Keith Ross and Chuck Wells. It'll be Ross at the 7. To the 20, and that's about it. Right now, let's go back to New York. Here's Jim Lampley.
All right, just to reassure you that you are not missing any close competition at South Bend, Notre Dame still leads Navy 34-10, about 7 minutes to go. Pinkett is out of the game now, 27 carries, 161 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Meantime, final stats from Columbus, where Ohio State upended number 1 Iowa. Chuck Long, 17 of 34 in the air, 169 yards, 4 interceptions, a key to the game as the Buckeyes, before a record crowd of 90,467, beat the Hawkeyes. Back to you, Tim.
Jim, with 9:51 remaining in the ball game here, Florida State has the ball first down on the 23. Reverse. Hassan Jones, who's thrown a touchdown pass this year, throws it deep. Incomplete. Intended for Philip Bryant. He can throw it.
Well thrown pass by Hassan. This is a tremendous all-around athlete. The latest in a line of outstanding wide receivers at Florida State. Takes the reverse. On the move to his left, he's looking deep downfield for his other wide receiver, who's on a deep crossing pattern. However, this ball was well covered. They had double coverage there in the secondary. So obviously they knew something about that gadget play. Bobby Bowden is noted for his gadget play.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 23. Ferguson, play action. Has a complete to Tanner Holloman. Holloman loses his feet and gains about 4. Holloman went to Tennessee with Tony Robinson and probably would have been a starter there. Then he transferred here to Florida State, sat out, no scholarship, and now he's playing in the backfield.
3rd and 5, a very important down now for the Hurricanes. They want to reestablish the momentum of the game, keep the momentum of the game going. If they can get the ball back now, they can do that.
Ferguson, just a freshman, but he's shown a lot of composure in this ball game. 3rd and 6. The pass overthrown, intended for Hassan Jones.
Hassan had a step on Don Ellis. Oh, Ferguson's going to be frustrated when he has to watch this on film, because Hassan does have a step here on Don Ellis. If he'd taken a little bit more off this ball, I think Hassan might have had a big gainer, possibly a touchdown. We talked about that at the very top of the show. This is a true freshman. He's 18 years old. He's having his first start.
Lewis Berry, 41-yard average. Kicks it away. And this is Brett Merriman. Gives ground and loses his footing. Keep in mind, Hurricane Juan has just left this part of the country. It has rained all week long, and the field is soggy. 48-yard punt. He loses a yard on the return.
This field was more than soggy 2 days ago. It was a swamp. In fact, they brought a helicopter out here yesterday morning to blow water off the field. The field is in remarkably good shape today for today's game.
Florida State secondary. 3 sophomores and a freshman working against tremendous quarterback in Vinny Testaverde. First down to give inside to Oliver. And Oliver picks up a good 6 yards. Here's Jim Lampley again.
with another touchdown from South Bend. This one for the Notre Dame second-string offense will go to number 33, Hiawatha Francisco, a 15-yard run. It made it 41-10. I used to think that Hiawatha Francisco was the greatest name in college football, Tim, but then a fellow named Sloan Hood rushed for more than 200 yards for Houston today. Sloan Hood, Tim.
See Penny here. Flags fly. Testaverde has a man across the middle. It is complete to Perryman, I do believe, but there is a flag. There it is, the spear next to the scoreboard. Measuring the sound here in Campbell Stadium, which now has gotten fairly quiet. But it has been deafening in here most of the evening.
Illegal motion, offense, still second down.
Michigan State over Minnesota today. Lou Holtz goes down in a close one, 31-7, Purdue. Colorado falls for the second week in a row. 8 minutes and 2 seconds remain in the ball game here. Testaverde to throw on 2nd and 9. Pressure. Testaverde is sacked for the 7th time. Stanley Scott, Paul McGowan are the men who made the penetration.
Testaverde's numbers on the day. You're going to watch his 7th sack. He takes a 7-step drop here. He's looking to his left. The pressure comes from McGowan, the linebacker. Then he gets an assist from Scott, number 83. Again, take a look. He sets up at 7 yards. He's looking to his right first, back to his left. Here comes McGowan. And they are just blowing out the offensive line. And that's been the key for Florida State.
3rd down and a taxi line. Testaverde needs 20 yards. Throws deep. He's got it. Michael Irvin, again on the sidelines, has worked himself free from Deion Sanders. And Testaverde comes up with the big 3rd down and 20 play.
Now you know why the pro scouts think that Vinny Testaverde is one of the premier quarterbacks in college football. Possible Heisman candidate next year. Irvin along the sideline. That ball had to be thrown 40 yards. He had to throw a rope. He got it in front of Sanders, number 2. So Vinny on the day, 18 of 35, 258 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he's been sacked 7 times.
32-yard gain now, up to the 45, 1st down Miami. Oliver left side. Clock continues to roll. He picks up 5 yards. 6:57 remains. 28-7. 28. Florida State trails by 1. Arkansas 30-15 over Rice. We'll see Arkansas next weekend here on ABC. Some of the other scores as they continue to come in this evening. 26-21 Houston. Bill Yeoman runs that triple option. Had that quarterback Danny Davis, Alonzo Smith back in the 70s. Alonzo Blackwell, rather. 2nd and 6 for Testaverde. Completes it to William Smith as tight end.
Testaverde closing in on the 300-yard mark, his 20th completion in 37 attempts, 293 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's fortunate because they've had minus yardage rushing.
That tells the story right there. We're under the 6-minute mark. Miami leads by 1. It's 3rd and 3. The ball on the 48. Testaverde complete. William Smith is knocked out of bounds on the 12. So Florida State, which fairly well dominated this game most of the way. Miami kept it close enough to come back and strike late.
Testaverde, as we have been saying right along, throws all types of passes under all types of circumstances. He was pressured but got the ball to his tight end William Smith, who beats Sanders, number 16, to the outside and takes it before he goes out of bounds. So his numbers continue to improve. He's over the 300-yard mark now.
First down at the 12. Plenty of time. Complete again to the tight end Smith. He's inside the 5.
Makes the reception for Miami. Stop made by number 32, Martin Mayhew.
Crowd now quiets down.
Testaverde following, of course, Jim Kelly, who was there in 1979 through 1982. Bernie Kosar quarterbacking the national championship team in 1983. And now Vinny Testaverde, who may wind up being the finest of all Miami quarterbacks.
Miami developing a tradition much the same way as BYU with the quarterbacks. Right side, Oliver bangs his way down to the 2.
It's a good analogy.
And close to a first down.
Testaverde 22 of 39, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Testaverde had his best and worst game this year against East Carolina. Threw for 385 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he had 6 interceptions. There it is, 1st and goal now, Miami. There are the numbers, the war cry in the background. Florida State fans trying to encourage the defense. What a chore. Everybody in tight. The give is Bratton. Touchdown, Miami. Melvin Bratton with a touchdown. Holding against the Hurricanes. Wow, what a break.
What a remarkable effort by Bratton on the touchdown. I haven't seen a back fly like this in a long time. Bratton, number 5, starts out on the sweep. Now watch him hurl his body through the air over Mayhew, number 32. Offense, 3 yards he traveled in the air.
Here's another angle.
This is going to be negated, but watch this superlative effort by number 5, Melvin Bratton, as he goes wide on the sweep. Watch how he goes over Mayhew and breaks the plane of the goal line with the football for an apparent touchdown that's called back.
4:31 remains. Testaverde on the right side. Gets back to the 10.
Testaverde, the ball carrier. Martin Mayhew and Deion Sanders make the stop.
It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 10. All important numbers at the top of the screen. 4:27, the time remaining.
Just as exciting as the scoreboard indicates, if not more so.
Testaverde, 2nd and goal. Throws across the middle. Incomplete, there's a flag. Eric Williams, the defender, may have been riding high in the saddle. We'll wait for the call and see if he was on Perryman's back. Can't fault him for the effort. He was right in the receiver's hip pocket. Gave him the inside lane, tried to take the pass away. Here's the call. Holding against the Seminoles. Some game, huh?
Can't remember a game when so much continuous action and so much fan support. Pickoff or crossing pattern here by the Hurricanes. Williams apparently called for holding.
Holding against the defense. Before the ball was thrown, that's an automatic
first down.
I think it's something that we did not see before the ball was thrown.
Well, Gil Gelke, the referee, has explained it nicely. It'll be first and goal now at the 5 for Miami. The give inside. Oliver bangs his way down to the 1.
Darrell Oliver carrying for Miami. Greg Newell and Brad Jones.
Oliver, Williams, Highsmith, and Bratton all contributing as running backs today, as we said they would. Miami very multiple in their offensive schemes. They've showed us a lot of looks today. And, of course, Testaverde has utilized all of his tools at the quarterback position.
The noise level in this stadium all afternoon has been deafening. A little bit quieter now with Miami about to score. Testaverde on the naked roll, and he'll lose a yard. Stanley Shiver and Eric Williams were the defenders who stayed home, covered their territory, didn't take the fake, and made the play.
Shiver had that one scouted. Vinny has done that before. As we talked about, he's a little bit more mobile than Kozar. The comparisons have been obvious. But this time, Shiver is in perfect position. He doesn't give him the outside. He forces him back in, and Williams gets an assist.
Makes it 3rd and goal from the 2. Testaverde to the corner. Touchdown, Miami. Brett Perriman makes the catch, number 33. Testaverde continues to assault the record books. Throws the touchdown. And with 3:06 remaining in the ball game, Miami has taken a seemingly commanding lead.
Well, when you got one-on-one coverage like this, why not? Perriman goes to work on the outside. He's working on number 17, Williams. He gets a step on him. And you talk about perfect timing on a pass. Testaverde had that ball in the air before he came out of his final move.
Greg Cox on to attempt the extra point. And it's good. Well, the defender really did what he had to do. He made the contact, took the inside away. He just couldn't catch up to the corner.
Watch how quickly Vinny releases the ball here. Now, the ball is in the air, or the receiver goes out of his final cut.
Brett Perriman with a touchdown. So with 3:06 remaining, Miami leads 35-27 in Tallahassee.
The Florida Everglades and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. The Everglades means airboating, as close as you can get to flying without leaving the ground. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place in Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
Hey, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Honey, this is just like the PC I have at the office.
The PC-compatible Tandy 1000, just $9.99, with a Christmas bonus color monitor. Save $300.
So,
soon as I finish our budget, sweetheart.
Budget?
It comes with its own software
My report's due tomorrow, Dad.
and has plenty of home uses.
Don't stay too late at the office, dear.
The Tandy 1000 with color monitor Christmas bonus, only at Radio Shack.
The junior on the right, Testaverde, has done his job and put Miami in the lead. The freshman on the left now has to come on. They need a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie this game.
Compelling quarterback matchup that we talked about and documented at the top of the show. Testaverde now winning that duel. He is 23 of 40, 339 yards, and 4 touchdowns on the day.
More importantly, Miami has outscored Florida State 21-3 in this half after being down 24-14 at halftime. That's Mark Seelig. He'll kick it away from Miami. It'll be Ross, 4 yards deep. And he's going to bring it out to the 15, across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Goes Ross. Coming up next week as our CFA college football continues here on ABC. These are the games that we'll be bringing to you. Alabama against LSU in Baton Rouge. 2 big wins for those schools today. And Arkansas, which won over Rice, will go against Baylor. Check the game in your area.
The Seminoles need a touchdown and a 2-point play. And we've got a tie football game.
There he is. He's the freshman. This is his first start ever. Ferguson on first down from the 23. And the ball's dropped, and they get it back. So on the little screen pass over the middle to Tony Smith, they lose 2 yards. Cletus Jones, being alert, got the football back.
Tried to set up the middle screen, and it was a pretty good call.
Can't run without the football.
Heard that so many times.
Florida State has 3 timeouts remaining. Miami 2. 8 points separate the 2 teams. We've got 2:28 remaining. Ferguson to throw. Incomplete. It was intended for Philip Bryant, number 9.
Well thrown ball, and Bryant certainly had a shot at it. Pressure again, however, on the young 18-year-old freshman. Coming from number 95 from the Hurricanes. Again, that's Kevin Fagan, their star who's been on the injured list. There's Fagan right there. And it's Bryant on the outside running a deep curl-in route. He's sandwiched in between Brown and Blades.
Brings up an all-important 3rd and 12 from the 21. Pressure. Ferguson can't get it away.
So Kevin Fagan, who entered the game late, and we've talked about him, he's been their star player who's been on the injured list and has come back strong now. So with Fagan back in there, the front 4 of the Hurricanes is very impressive, and they have really applied the pressure here in the second half to quarterback Chip Ferguson.
Lewis Berry is on to punt it away. Berry's had a pretty good afternoon. He averages 47 yards in this ball game here today. This one's a high spiraling punt. There's no deep back for Miami now. They'll just let it hit, and it gets a Florida State bounce. Down inside the 10, and that could prove to be a pretty big little thing right there. No deep back. Ball rolls down inside the 10. 67-yard punt. We've got 1:43 left.
We're not a company.
But no company has more pride in what they do.
Or more pride in how well they do it.
We offer you a meaningful and fulfilling future.
One that goes far beyond the ordinary.
One that brings with it the respect and admiration of Americans everywhere.
We're not a company.
We're your country.
We're the Air Force.
The Marines.
The Army.
The Navy.
We're the Armed Forces.
It's a great place to start.
I can't believe the car broke down again.
Keep walking.
We should have bought that Nissan Sentra.
Should have bought a Sentra.
Sentra's America's best-selling import, but do we have one? Oh, no.
Should have bought a Sentra.
The Browns have a Sentra. They swear by it. Drove cross country. We break down going across the street.
Need a lift? Yes. Thank you.
See? It's a Sentra.
For quality you can depend on, name is Nissan.
1 minute, 43 seconds remain here. Miami with the football, trying to melt that clock, leading by 8. The winner here today, with 8 bowl representatives, including the Orange Bowl, has a pretty good shot. Has to be considered a contender for the Orange Bowl. Penn State, as Jim Lampley said, definitely a contender, still unbeaten. And Miami now, just trying to hold on to the football. Oliver, the ball carrier there. Timeout, Florida State. Well, let's talk about that bowl situation for a while. It is a little bit early, but what a job Joe Paterno has done at Penn State.
Boy, he's had some barn burners this year.
Well, remember, they came into this season with an unproven quarterback. Went down to take Maryland on an opening day. Upset the Terrapins. They were the underdog going down to College Park. And they've been rolling ever since, not really blowing people out, but just playing consistent, no turnover type football and winning.
This is the quarterback comparison, and we've been talking about this right from the top. Vinny Testaverde now well over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Chip Ferguson, impressive in his debut as a starter, 18-year-old freshman, not a redshirt freshman, a true freshman, has thrown for 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he suffered 2 interceptions that have been costly. However, he's quite a talent.
Testaverde has not thrown an interception now in 102 attempts over the last 4 games. But an admirable job done by Chip Ferguson. 1:34 remaining, 2nd and 8, the ball on the 12. Give, right side. Oliver again, not much there. Paul McGowan came up and made the tackle, and Florida State takes another timeout, so they'll have 1 left.
Still no one leaving the stadium, and in 18 years that I've been covering football for ABC, I haven't seen fan involvement like this in a long time.
Big 3rd and 8 play. When we come back, we've got 1:24 remaining.
Not so very long ago, the average 4-cylinder engine looked something like this. But these days, 4-cylinder engines look a little more like this. That's why we developed new Valvoline 4-Guard motor oil, specially formulated to protect today's harder-working, more complex 4-cylinder engines. And it won't break down, even after 7,500 miles. Times have definitely changed. So maybe it's time to change your oil to new Valvoline 4-Guard.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
When Elliott took over as manager, the Southport office was considered exceptionally sloppy and unproductive. So Elliott called in Team Xerox, who studied his documents and recommended a solution, including Xerox memory writers for perfect letters and the 1090 Marathon, the most productive copier in the world. Now the Southport office is exceptional for something else.
Dramatic turnaround of the year at the Southport office.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So the stage is set for the final act of the drama that has become an interstate rival between these two. 3rd down, 8. Testaverde across the middle, incomplete. Now what makes that so important is the fact that in the first half, Miami had a similar situation. Brian Smith, the snapper, had a low snap. Jeff Feagles, the punter for Miami, couldn't get the punt off. It was blocked, and Florida State scored a touchdown. The Eagles have come on again now to punt it away. Smith is still the snapper. He's averaged only 37 yards on 7 punts today. There's still 1:19 left. And Florida State
10 men up there. 10 men on the line.
Here they come. Almost blocked. He gets it all. Sanders now will drift. It's a beauty. They take it all the way back inside the 40, and there's nowhere to go. Good coverage by Miami. A 48-yard punt by Jeff Feagles. So he rarely comes through in the clutch.
10-man rush. Watch how quickly Feagles gets this ball off.
And a good snap.
1-2, a good snap. The ball is out of there. And 48 yards it goes from the line of scrimmage. Pressure punting by Feagles, who's had his problems today.
Jesse Solomon was the Florida State player that came through and almost got a handle on it. 1:09 left, 1st and 10, ball on the 43. Florida State needs a touchdown. Pressure on Ferguson. Fumbles the football. Miami's got it. Tremendous effort on the defense.
Ferguson on a scramble play here is trying to look downfield for a deep play. Watch John McVay, number 93, get the hit. And it's covered by George Myra Jr., the son of the former great Miami quarterback and the leading tackler on the team from his middle linebacker position. So a frustrating experience for Chip Ferguson, who has had a good day in his debut as a starter, but now has suffered his 3rd turnover of the day, 2 interceptions and 1 fumble.
Myra is the hero for recovering it, but what a play by John McVay. He applied the pressure first and chased Ferguson out of the pocket. but then he didn't quit. He kept following him all the way down, tracked him down from behind, and forced the fumble. And there's your final from South Bend. Spectacular play by John McVay, a senior out of Miami, Florida.
Well, we talked about George Myra Jr. a moment ago, and his father, the great quarterback back in the early 60s. I was with him very briefly in training camp with the San Francisco 49ers in 1964. George Sr. now in the pizza business.
And his son is an outstanding linebacker. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Nissan, builders of technologically advanced cars and trucks for over 50 years. For drivers who demand quality, the name is Nissan. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. Doesn't get any better than this. And by Goodyear, makers of the great performing all-season radial Vector. "54 seconds remain. All Miami has to do now is close the door and lock it. Testaverde drops down. No timeouts remain for Florida State, and the clock continues to roll. Well, he played admirably, did Ferguson, the freshman. He did make a couple of turnovers, and they were costly. For Testaverde's, boy, what a spectacular throw he is going to make.
But don't forget, he's got one more year with the Hurricanes, and he told me yesterday that he definitely will be back for his senior year. And we mentioned the Heisman. He certainly will be a leading candidate in 1986.
Following in the tradition, Jim Kelly, most valuable player in the USFL, out of Miami. Bernie Kosar now in the National Football League, out of Miami. And now this guy, Vinny Testaverde. Hill, our statistician, and Kelly Hayes, our research and spotter, for doing a great job here tonight, as everybody did. What an exciting game. The final score, Miami 35, Florida State 27. Well, stay tuned now for updated highlights and scores of today's football action on College Football Scoreboard. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. Nobody knows Hawaii like United. For Lee Gross Cup, this is Tim Brandt saying so long. Presentation of ABC Sports.
Monday, Mark and the Judge set sail to paradise, but hit some stormy weather. Which one's the Ancient Mariner? Hardcastle and McCormick. Then, it's the Dallas Cowboys against the St. Louis Cardinals on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
You'll love it.
Monday.
Any TV news operation can talk about technology. At Eyewitness 12 News, you'll find more than equipment. You'll find experienced people who know how to make the most of these tools. Every day, these dedicated journalists clearly and objectively present the issues and events that affect us in South Florida. That's why at Eyewitness 12 News, we put the emphasis where it belongs, on people. Because that's who our newscasts are for. Eyewitness 12 News, committed to people.
Grand Prix Racerama. There's nothing like it. The thrill of go-kart racing, hairpin turns, bank turns, S-turns, long straightaways, over a mile-long ride. No matter what age, the thrill of your life is at Grand Prix Racerama. After the thrill of victory, celebrate in the Pizza Cabaret. Enjoy delicious food while you watch an exclusive stage show of musical characters. Then, blow your mind in the world's largest electronic game room. Special rates for groups and organizations. For great food, thrills, and excitement, it's Grand Prix Racerama, a family entertainment center.
The push is on. Dodge is out to sell 1 million cars and trucks before the end of the year. Save hundreds across the board at your Gold Star Dodge dealer. For a limited time, get 8.6 APR or $500 cash back on Lancer. Save $500 on Omni with automatic transmission. Get $500 off air-conditioned Aries and save up to $800 on 2- and 4-wheel drive Ram Tough pickups. Get super savings and super selection at
Parrot Dodge Okeechobee, Lockhart Dodge Belglade. Benson, 7:30 p.m. weeknights on TV 12.
Welcome back to New York. Today we answered the eternal question, how many scores can Jim Lampley give in 3 minutes? Number 1 ranked Iowa fell to Ohio State 22-13, Long threw 4 interceptions in the game. Who will be #1 in UPI? Penn State, which rolled to its 8th victory today, coming from behind on an interception return in the 4th quarter to beat Boston College 16-12. Third-ranked Nebraska rolled over Kansas State 41-3. Big days running the ball for Miles, Dubose, and Rathman. Michigan and Illinois played to a 3-3 tie. Illinois' Chris White missed a 37-yarder, partially blocked, hit the crossbar. Last play would have won it for the Illini. Florida beat Auburn 14-10. Clutch touchdown pass from Bell to McDonald in the 4th quarter. Jackson was hurt, played only about half the game. Air Force beat San Diego State 31-10. Oklahoma beat Kansas 48-6. You just saw Miami hold off Florida State. Chevrolet play of the game, $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of both schools. The touchdown which put Miami in front, 28-27 in the 4th quarter. Tremendous throw. If you didn't get a chance to see it, watch Vinny Testaverde hit Michael Irvin with a 30-yard touchdown pass. 7th straight game in which Irvin has caught a touchdown pass, and this one gave Miami the victory as it put them on top 28-27. They scored again and held on to beat Florida State 35-27. I'll be back with as many scores as possible after this.
College Football Scoreboard is being brought to you by Skoal.